apocalypse, Mr. Mannheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
What's up, Bemmers? Get ready to laugh so hard you'll cry a trail of tears right down your cheeks. It's the Dark Side's Couch program. This is James.
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm very proud of you, James.
Wow.
This is Mike.
That was
I'm
a hard
Shée.
silence. That was a hard silence. Are you? I don't feel great about it either. It was the first thing that came to me.
It was a very historical opening. Thank you.
It's still not. It's still too recent, right? It's still too fresh of a
I
wound.
don't know. It's American history. This drops what? The 3rd?
I don't know. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it drops on the 3rd of July.
So this is our patriotic 4th of July episode.
I didn't even realize that. I totally read it that way.
Focusing on the atrocities that America committed.
Yeah, like allowing Billy Ray Cyrus to make
Yeah.
music.
Laughing through the pain.
And walk around with that haircut.
It is incredible.
Like
That
some
is
bullets
a-
look really good. His does not.
No, but it is like king of the mullets.
Like
I-
that, it is definitely like
That's-
the kid whose parents are divorced in the South.
No, I disagree. I think that's one of your better mullets.
I didn't have that haircut.
Well, you didn't have the female mullet. The female mullet is sad.
Yeah. Depends on the mullet. Out of those two girls from Tiga and Sarah, they have great mullets.
They do. Actually, the first time I chopped off all my hair, I was inspired by them.
I love their music. Speaking of music,
Yeah.
I like Tegan and Sarah. Isn't that
Where-
weird?
Where's their
No,
Marvel
they're
music
great.
special?
I love their music.
Yeah, I think you're doing a work about what kind of music.
No,
you
I
like.
saw them.
You've
I was
been doing
working
this
at
for a
Riot
while.
Fest.
I was about to say, yeah, they come to Riot Fest quite a bit.
And I saw them, and I was like, "This is like the best band ever."
Yeah, they're coming again this year.
I've heard interviews with them. They seem very nice. They seem like very nice people. So good. For
I
them.
like sappy pop songs.
Yeah, well,
Like
there's
I'm all
plenty of
about
them.
it.
I just saw that it's the 20th anniversary of that Bad Day song. It's
been 20 years.
Wow.
Is that Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, that was just some guy.
What is this? You know what? When I started
Some
reading this
beige
book,
dude.
I forgot what Billy Ray Cyrus's hit was.
He's had
Until
a
you
bunch of
read
hits.
it, because
I just
they
couldn't-
had to include it.
I forgot that's what he was famous for.
He's got a bunch of hits. I mean, that was the biggest like
I only
crossover
know.
that everyone knows about it. But yeah, that's like the big. He definitely, you would be forgiven to have assumed that when Achy Breaky Heart broke, that would be it for him. He'd be a one-hit guy. And
That
that's
guy
his
knew when his
biggest,
time
but
was up.
He's still around.
I know, but he like became like Miley's dad after a while.
Yeah.
Well, no, he also was part of that Old Town Road song.
Yeah,
Was
which
he?
is like I thought I read that is like by some metric, I guess by the Billboard metric, the most successful song of all time.
Billy
Like
Ray
it-
Cyrus once again slaying the hits.
It was like #1 on the Billboard charts for like 19 weeks or something, like the longest any song has ever been on the charts at #1.
That song is about anal sex.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, read the lyrics, dude.
You know what? I've seen the title, so I know that song, and I'd seen the title 1,000 times over the years, but I'm so disconnected from the culture that I had to like go YouTube to remind myself what that was, and I had to put two and two together with that title and that hook.
If you want to listen to really good gay country music, listen
And
to
I do.
Orville Peck.
Peck.
Yeah, Orville Peck.
Fuck yeah, Orville Peck.
Yeah,
I'm
we all know.
shocked
We all
and
know.
pleased that you guys know about
Dude,
Orville Peck.
I see Orville
Oh,
Peck
yeah.
T-shirts in the grocery store, man. Where are you?
Orville
really?
Peck is-
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're pro.
He's huge.
I thought he was like some indie guy.
No, he's not some. I mean, I don't know what label
He might
he's
be.
on,
We're
but
two
he's-
little indie assholes. So,
All right,
A
well,
little bit of a
good.
needy
Good
prick.
for you. Bass James and Shée. Congratulations.
Woo.
Great.
His latest
great.
album is unreal good.
There's a lot of good music.
Yeah, right?
Mostly being made by Billy Ray Cyrus, but there's still some other people eking out of the
He's
occasional
behind
good.
it.
Speaking of good art, we got some good art. We
Yeah,
got two
right?
pieces of great art that came in recently, and I think we should take a moment to spotlight them and compare and contrast them because holy cow, are they different? Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got this here. So I've been staring at this for a while. This we
yeah.
got in from Nick Caesar. You can see on the YouTube or something. What the hell is? So he made a Visionaries, like a little diorama of the Visionaries, I guess. And is this a talking cervix?
So
Who is
I'm
this guy?
assuming that it's someone got the power of a jellyfish.
Right. Oh, he is like a jellyfish. Okay. All right. So it's a talking jellyfish who is also, I think, and then behind the talking jellyfish, there's Merklin as the wall, which is what he likes to do. And he is giving IT instructions. Great. He's saying, have you tried turning it on and off again? Great. And then we've got the Lady Visionary with her Snarf hologram. Also great. And then we've got the main gay Visionary with Darkseid's head on top of his body.
So I will, every Wednesday, either on the Santa Hules channel or the Darkseid's Couch channel, whichever one is not banned currently, I will play the latest episode of Darkseid's Couch, and Nick Caesar will listen to the episode, and by the time it's done, have art based off of just what he hears on it.
And he's done this a few times, and it's always great. It's always enjoyable.
It's always awesome.
Can you believe this? He does this quickly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's also highly disturbing.
Yeah, everything he makes for us is totally disturbing. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think his
yeah.
Instagram handle, let me look it up because it involves scary art in the name, I believe.
Yeah, give us that name when you find it.
His Twitch handle is Nick the Bio-Haunted Doll.
Right, go follow him.
Love it.
Yeah, he's clearly a talented man, but he's also I'm gonna say potentially a problem risk in society that we need to keep an eye on.
Well, he's a fan of our show, so that tells you everything you need to know.
That's all we need to know. No, this is fantastic. Thank you for making those. Please continue sending them in, and please continue giving me nightmares. Shée, do you have that? I heard that
do.
sound.
I do have. So his Instagram handle is at NIKCAESARSSCARYART. So it's Nick Caesar Scary Art.
Okay, all right. I guess.
And it looks like he has a website that is scary-art.com. I'm gonna click on it and make sure it's not porn.
Well, no,
it's too late now.
Caesar.
It's
in the
not
show.
porn, guys. We're all good.
It's not porn, everybody. It's okay. It is fantastic. It is disturbing. I like it very much. Thank you for sending those in. Please.
This is
continue doing
currently
that.
my desktop background.
Oh yeah, it is shaped. You know what? I need a new desktop background. Maybe I'm going to do the same thing. And then we got just the other day, I think just yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Our buddy Jay Miller, who made our fantastic logo and all kinds of cool stuff for us, he sent something in as well. This is, I guess, Abraham Lincoln, the day he invented the choke slam, maybe?
Yeah. And it
God
is
rewarded him with
wonderful.
the belt.
Also
I like how
wonderful.
he has a chest tattoo that says "Emancipate."
Yeah.
and has a tattoo instead of
Austin
316, it's Lincoln
47.
Yeah.
He always comes up with these great little touches.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. I like the
Fantastic.
fact that he has the untied bow tie.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got the untied bow tie. What's going on with the belt buckle? Why is it like it's almost the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo?
I'm thinking that he based him off of Brock Lesnar.
It is based all right, for sure.
He looks like Brock Lesnar. He's got MMA
huge
gloves.
and bulky. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a composite of a lot of wrestlers, but I think Brock Lesnar was probably the main inspiration.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Brock
I love
Lesnar,
it.
the alpha male of humanity.
That man is horrifying, and he's also got a penis tattooed on his chest.
Can you imagine? This guy exists.
Yeah.
Why
He's
are we cloning Brock Lesnar?
I don't think we want more of them walking
I'm just
around.
saying, like, if we want a strong military, why don't we just have endless clones of Brock Lesnar?
Well, I think you also need to be strategic. You can't
Isn't
just
that
be a
like
big
how
beefy
Boba
guy.
Fett started?
Yes. Brock Lesnar needs to be the Boba Fett of real life.
No, I'm guessing Brock Lesnar is not great at espionage. He's just a tank of a person.
Jango Fett. It was
Yeah.
the nerds are screaming at us.
Sorry.
Yeah, the nerds are always screaming about something.
I'm happy I remembered it at all.
No, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
That was for a girl.
Do you think, when Abe Lincoln invented the choke slam, was it in the middle of a match?
I think he was just wrestling some dude and he goozled
And he
him
just
and
did
just hit him with the earth.
That audience must have lost
I'm
their
sorry.
shit.
I want that description to be noted of he goozled him
Yeah, you got a little goozle.
and what to the earth and then
And hit him with the earth.
The entire earth came up to
Yeah,
meet
he
him.
goozled and hit him with the earth.
He pulled the earth up to meet his opponent, and the audience lost their fucking minds. They'd never seen anything like that before.
Right? That's how he became
Incredible.
the president. That's how
Yes.
they solved elections back
Yep.
then. And they should do it again.
They might. We're heading towards a death race
The
2000
Lincoln
kind of
Douglas
situation.
debates were really intense.
Yeah, Douglas.
I really think that all presidential debates should have some kind of wrestling match in it. Maybe not necessarily to determine who's the president, but we need to see who's the strongest.
Right. It's like a beauty pageant. It's just one of the components of it.
Also,
we
it's
should
like
know.
you're like, well, the candidates are too old, right? If they're too old to wrestle for the presidency, then they're too old to be the president.
Means they don't want it enough. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We need the Django Fetts of the world to
All right.
run for president.
So that's from Jay Miller. Thank you, Jay, as always. Thank you, Nick, as always. Those are fantastic. And the rest of you guys, keep up.
Thank
you know?
y'all.
Pick up the slack, the rest of you guys. There's room for more. There's more room on the art train. Bring it in.
And I do think girls can like Star Wars. I was just baiting Shée, and she knew what I was doing and just ignored me.
Yeah, but they like the bad ones.
What, the bad what? Star
the bad
Wars?
Star Wars.
Nah, there's no such thing.
And that's
You
all of them.
don't even know any of them.
No, I don't care. I'm just baiting as well. We're just baiting.
They're all great in their own way.
I know.
Well, you guys are master baiters.
Great. Fantastic. Have a good time.
Good job, dude.
So this came in on the wheel, and it was actually kind of. I want to say 2 people actually requested it.
I know old comics.
Old comics on Twitter asked for this.
Yeah, and I think someone else did, and James told me to look into it, and I didn't.
Yep, this is something I wanted to do. I brought it to the show. I got no heat on it. And then as soon as other people asked for it, suddenly it's a hot property.
I think you just put whatever you want on the wheel.
I don't want to. I want there to be some democracy to it, or at least the illusion of democracy.
No, it's random. Like I load up the wheel all the time.
Yeah, but if the more stuff is on the wheel, the slimmer the possibility of some of the things we really want to see. Are we ever going to find out what DP7 is? I really
who
want
knows?
to know.
That's for God to decide.
I have a theory about who might be controlling the wheel. Actually, we'll see as we get through this comic here. This comic kind of enlightened me a little bit, I think. This is from the Marvel Music imprint of like special one-off books. Also, remind you guys, everything in the Marvel universe is canon to everything else. You know, everything they publish is canon with everything else. So these adventures took place in the canonical Marvel universe.
All right.
There's no reason not to bring this into the MCU, into the movies.
What other comic book company made music comics? Like there's the Kiss Psycho Circus.
Well, that was also Psycho Circus. That was Image. That was a Tom
Image
McFarlane
or Chaos
joint.
or something?
No, that was an Image comic joint. That was because Tom McFarlane had the license to the toys. So he
There's
was
the
like,
Sane Clown Posse comics.
Yep. I think
There's
now,
a Megadeth comic.
Oh, really? We should probably do that. I think maybe now. I'm just guessing because they did a lot of those like licensed tie-ins. Maybe now did something in like the early '90s. I don't know. But yeah, Image definitely did some of them. Tom McFarlane was just he was throwing everything at the wall in the '90s.
Good for him, and that's why he's successful.
Yeah, spending millions of dollars on baseballs.
Never
he did
give
that
up.
shit. Yeah, he'll never get up. He's gonna get that Spawn movie in theaters this year. It's definitely coming out this year.
If you're a slobbery Canadian and you have an idea for a comic book, you go ahead and you do it, you milk it, and then you milk everything else around you.
I mean, you can't. You can make fun of Tom McFarlane all you want, but the fact of the matter is, like, through sheer force of will, he made himself a little empire.
You sure did. We were talking about that earlier, about using your force of will to get what you want.
He did it. He didn't let anyone stop him.
Dude, he gave Spider-Man all the lines.
He took all the lines.
All of the entire line budget.
He snuck into the Marvel bullpen in the middle of the night and stole lines from other artists.
Yeah.
And he left Marvel because they took his line budget for art for the Billy Ray Cyrus comic book, and then that forced him to found his own shit.
Well, Marvel didn't realize how long Billy Ray Cyrus's mullet was. Like, dude, we're gonna have to get a lot of lines on this thing.
Yeah.
Did they think that Billy Ray Cyrus is just gonna be popular forever?
He was huge.
He was huge.
But like he fizzled out.
He's still a pretty big name, honestly.
His hair is still amazing.
He looks fantastic. So are we, like, you were slamming his mullet. I'm saying it's a quality mullet.
Well, okay, in terms of like his style in the comic book, it is horrific.
It is
in terms of just his scalp health.
Yes.
Like he has
thick, it's full, it's
beautiful
got a good
head of
color.
hair.
It's
yeah.
luxurious.
He's like a goddamn horse.
I mean, he doesn't have the mullet anymore. You guys know that now, right? He's just got
he's got a beautiful haircut.
long hair,
It's got
just
longish, yeah.
parted down the middle.
Right?
Ew.
Maybe some highlights.
It's not the best look. It's not. Have you not seen this, Shea?
No.
Have you not seen what
I remember
BR is looking
seeing
like lately?
him when he was on Hannah Montana.
So I was just about to ask
the dyed hair.
Was he Hannah Montana's father? Oh, good lord.
Yes.
Who brought up a picture of Billy Ray nowadays?
He looks so
He
sad.
looks like he's gonna sing "Lips of an Angel."
He looks like he's
like a
melting.
TNA wrestler that just never got that WWE big break.
He looks like the dollar store version of Jason Momoa.
He's a sad man.
Impact Wrestling. All the people are like you
all the
fucking boomer
leftovers.
calling it TNA. It used to be called Tits and Ass Wrestling. All right, that's what it was called.
You're having an imaginary argument with a hypothetical listener. What were you saying about on the Hannah Montana show? Was he your dad or whatever?
Yeah, did he play Hannah's dad in the
Yes.
show?
No,
Yes.
I don't think he was on the
Yes.
show, but I don't think he played the dad.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Shée
Jesus
probably watched
Christ,
the
were you a
show.
fan?
Yes.
All
I
right,
didn't
were you a
watch it.
fan?
I mean, you're that age, Shea, when that was really popular. You were young
Right.
enough.
That's why I'm saying don't fucking challenge me here.
Yeah, you're the
Wow.
expert, the Hannah Montana expert on the
I think
show.
this means
Shea.
a lot to you, Shay. You were also line dancing. Am I correct?
No.
Oh my God! Right, Shea's from the South.
She was a line dance. She did line dancing.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
Shea,
did.
Shea, you probably really wanted this comic because you probably grew up loving Billy Ray Cyrus.
You have told me stories that when you were a kid, there was some sort of line dancing thing that you got involved with to like Chattahoochee or some Alan Jackson song or something. Because that was just the thing you did in school. Like everybody did it.
Oh, yeah, in gym class. I think everyone had a dance.
God, remembering Shay's life better than her.
segment or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, didn't everyone do that?
You got to
No.
Chad until you get some hoochie.
I never had to line dance. I never had to dance at all in school.
We did square dancing in school.
Yeah, or square
Jesus.
dancing or something.
Seriously? You guys
Yeah,
both
we
did
square
dancing
dance.
classes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't
we
just
did.
me.
Wow.
I grew up in the country, bro. That's what
That
we
is
did.
weird shit. All right.
And I
did
heard
jumping
Chattahoochee a
jacks.
lot because Alan Jackson was from the town,
Where was he when the world stopped turning?
writing a song.
Yeah, good for him. So here it is. He played Billy Ray played the character of Robbie Stewart on
And why
Hannah
is Robbie
Montana.
Stewart based on Jed Clampett?
And
Yeah.
why? So if his name is Robbie Ray Stewart, how is he Hannah Montana's father?
Well, Hannah Montana probably wasn't her real name in the
Yeah,
show.
Miley
Oh,
Stewart
Miley
is her name
Stewart.
in the show.
Wow.
Hannah.
okay.
So Miley Stewart has an alter ego, and the alter ego is the famous singer Hannah Montana.
Wow, this goes deep. This is like
Her father is Robbie Ray.
it's like Inception.
He's exploiting her.
He's got
So-
like 6 kids, and many of them are, B and C level singers. Obviously, Miley Cyrus
Yeah.
is the most successful of those.
Her
but-
godmother is Dolly Parton.
Oh,
yeah?
all right. I think Dolly Parton is probably thousands of people's godmothers.
Yeah,
I like to think that's true.
that's how the South works. It's the law of the South.
Yeah, the law of the South.
So, this was a Billy Ray Cyrus special, the Marvel Music imprint. They did a couple of others that we should look at all of them, honestly.
They'll
This is-
all go on the wheel. I
They'll
don't
all
see
go
why
on the
not.
wheel. This was published in 1995, written by Paul S. Newman, art by Dan Barry, 2 people I had never heard of before, which is surprising because I looked it up, and this is what Wiki has to say about the writer, Paul S. Newman. He says, Wiki says, rather, credited in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most prolific comic book writer with more than 4,100 published stories, totaling approximately 36,000 pages. He is otherwise best known for scripting the comic book series Turok for 26 years.
Wow.
Well, actually, it mentions what numbers stories it is at the end of this comic.
It's
about
great.
that.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
does
like,
mention
this
in the
is
bio.
stories 4086 and 4087.
Oh, so this was right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't look. I don't like to shit on people who genuinely are doing their best, but man, this does not look like the work of somebody who'd written 4,000 plus comics.
I mean, it was fine. I thought it was drawn well.
It was well drawn.
It was very well drawn.
Dan Barry bringing the heat.
It was good. Like, I mean, for a comic book, like when I saw like the cover on the wheel and whatnot, I was just like, well, what the fuck is this going to be about? At least it's like a Marvel comic.
Well,
like
it's about
comic
time
book
travel,
Stuff
of course.
happen. Like that. Like stuff happens.
Yeah, it's just like when Shaq had a video game where he became a time traveling ninja. Because what the hell else was he going to do? He's going to play basketball? No, he's going to time travel and be a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Shaq Fu?
Yeah.
That was Shaq Fu, yeah. I guess Billy
that
Ray
game?
Billy Ray time travels too in this book. It was just a thing in the '90s, I guess.
Yeah. Kid in King Arthur's court.
We're time traveling right now, back to the 90s.
Back to 1995, the last good year.
Like, why? Who like he's got like going to the barber, and he's just
Right.
like, let's just grow the back out. And
Sure.
so it looks like a horse's tail.
Right.
I
That
just
goes
don't
down pretty
understand
far.
what's his thought process.
It was a cool look.
No, it wasn't.
He's always associated himself. I don't know if he's
Remember,
actually.
rat tails were a thing at this time.
That's
too.
what it looks like. It looks like a rat tail. It's like a horse tail.
But that's different. For the youngins, a rat tail is literally a tiny, tiny piece of hair that you
Yeah,
keep
it looks like
in the back
tail
of
of a
your
rat.
head.
I'm sure there's
Yeah,
some
that looks like a
hipster
literal
fuck
rat
listening
tail.
who's got
Yeah,
one.
and you can braid it or put it in a little
Please don't.
tiny, tiny ponytail.
Well, oh shit, where was I going with this?
Ah. Were you going to show us pictures of your rat tail?
Yeah, no, I never had a rat tail. I had long flowing locks, but I did not have a rat tail.
Got lost in Billy Ray's eyes.
It was just the look of the time. He's always associated himself. I don't know if he's actually Native American, but he's always associated himself with Native
Let's look it
Americans.
up.
So maybe he thought this. I think I looked it up and I couldn't. He's from Kentucky. That's all I could find.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out anything more conclusive, and I didn't do
I'm
that
just
much.
gonna look up, is
research.
Billy Ray Cyrus Native American?
I'm sure I looked that up, and then
is.
it wasn't the first result, so I just gave up.
Billy Ray Cyrus
Yeah.
has, well, it says ethnicity English, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh, but he claims to have Cherokee ancestry.
Fucking guy. Fucking guy.
It says Billy Ray has stated he has Cherokee native ancestry. It is not clear if this Cherokee ancestry has been verified or documented. No, because he is lying.
Maybe he just meant he had some scalps.
Someone
keeps a
scalped
few.
him with that shitty ass fucking haircut.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's what's going on the cover. He's looking longingly at us, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
For not the last time in the course of this book. And then there's an English knight called the Black Knight, which I think we already read a comic of the Black Knight.
Yeah,
Maybe
not
it's
too
that
long
same
ago.
guy.
Yeah.
And he's
He got
charging
fat-
to
he got
us.
fat.
He's charging at us, and there's a Native American shaman behind him. It's all very confusing. All right. This book is 2 big tales, and that's probably plenty.
2 big horse tails.
Yeah. And this first one is called "I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance with You,"
Yeah.
and it opens up with Billy
Good
Ray.
Lord, look how bad that haircut is.
It's flowing. It is flowing great.
Why have a normal
It's down
hair-
to his ass.
It's like a normal haircut, but just with like a 1990s. This is why Marvel wanted a Billy Ray Cyrus comic,
Because it's what they were doing.
They gave all their heroes at this time this haircut.
Maybe they were worried that Billy Ray had the patent on that hairstyle, and they needed to get in his good graces so they could put it on Thor.
Yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus plays Shatterstar or whoever the fuck.
I think he does. You know what? That does look like Shatterstar. His little weird headpiece would fit on that. God,
Yeah, you've got to put like a boxing headgear. That's what Shatterstar had. He had a mullet with like a Billy Ray Cyrus haircut on the back, and he had like an Olympic boxing headgear thing.
Shatterstar was like the quintessential example of something they tried in the 90s on superhero characters, and it didn't work out. And it was like an
It
Olympic
did work out. He was
headpiece thing.
very popular.
He was very popular, but you don't see characters with that now. He's got like a cushion on his face that kind of wraps around the outer perimeter of his face.
Well, yeah, that's what you wear when you get punched in the face a lot.
Right. Well, nobody's doing it anymore.
He's protecting himself from
Like-
concussions. He's like the only superhero who does. They all should be doing that.
Yeah, but the top of his head is still exposed.
Yeah, he's
Let
got to
that
show
hair
off that
flow.
achy breaky haircut.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we haven't really mentioned that Billy Ray Cyrus is really responsible for introducing the word breaky to our lexicon.
Yeah, he introduced it.
Nothing was really breaky before
He
1990. He popularized it.
Yeah, that song is dumb as shit. I can't believe it was so popular. Was
Do
that just
people-
like a sign of the times that everyone was just a lot dumber?
It was just a lot of novelty country songs.
I mean,
that were a
go
big
back
deal.
and read the lyrics in a Doors song.
Well, you mean that
Some of them are real
fantastic
fucking
poetry?
stupid.
Well, I never claimed that the people from the 60s were smart.
Yeah.
No,
they
I'm
were
just saying it's been forever.
Big dummies. Well, it's a song about how do young people nowadays, do they know about Achy Breaky Heart? Has that made it to TikTok or anything?
I mean, if they know about Hannah Montana, they might.
Yeah,
They
probably.
might, yeah.
But I don't know.
Go treat yourselves to some Achy Breaky Heart.
And no, don't. Good. Just let it
Do it.
die.
Check it out. See what's going on. See what's going on over there. See what it's about. Maybe you're into it. Bring it back. Remix, 12-inch. So, we open up this story with Billy Ray Cyrus. He's riding his horse Rome, R-O-A-M, right? That kind of Rome. And he's taking a break as much as he likes touring and the people and making the music. He's back in Kentucky, riding his horse, having a good time.
Do you think he actually had a horse? in the 90s?
I don't know. I mean,
It's mentioned in both comics.
All right.
there's a couple. Yeah, there's some things that happen in this book that I think are really the way that he just
Billy
wants people to
Ray
perceive him.
Cyrus.
I bet he can ride a horse.
Right.
Yeah, he probably has a farm that he rides horses on or something.
Yeah.
See.
He's got some people maintaining it
The
for
first
him?
thing that pops up is Old Town Road.
I'm gonna say he can ride a horse. He can do that.
Let's see. Nah, I can't find it.
He can definitely ride a horse. I've never been more certain of anything in my life. So
Maybe under images.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an image of him riding. Here's an image of Billy Ray and teenage Miley Cyrus riding horses.
Okay, there you go.
In
They're
fact,
great.
I'm seeing multiple images of Billy Ray and his family riding horses. Let's just assume he's got a farm.
Do you think the horses and him get jealous of each other
The horses and him?
because of their hair?
The Horses and Him is my
Oh.
favorite indie band.
Yes. Do you think that maybe the horse thinks that Billy Ray is a fellow horse because they have a similar hairstyle?
Yeah.
No.
He just
Yeah.
assumes a horse is riding that horse?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very good.
Here we have a great shot of the horse looking forward. I
doesn't
love
like
it when
it.
horses look forward because they look insane.
It's so hard for them to do it. They're clearly not meant to look directly ahead of them.
Yeah, well,
It's
when
terrible.
horses look freaked out, that is a hilarious image. You know, their eyes get all weird. They side eye you. I used to work at a horse stable.
Yeah. More like a
Sweet.
horse unstable with Mike working
Yeah,
there.
that's-
I made that same joke before, and it's still a good one.
Well, I don't remember, so it's a
still
first-time
good.
winner.
It's still a winner. So there's a mist coming up over the area where they're the woods where they're riding, and then we see that there's a young man and his girlfriend Karen, and they're also being overtaken by this mist. Mm-hmm. They were looking for a secret place to have a blowjob.
Yep, have a blowjob. What are you kids doing back there? You're having a blowjob?
Having a little blowjob party.
Well, no, he's like, I want to show you this haunted area. And then he goes to the haunted area and he sees
Yeah.
the ghost of an indigenous American.
Well, he doesn't really. He thinks he sees it.
Well, hold on. And then he goes back to this woman that he has said, hey, baby, I want to show you ghosts, and says, oh my God, I've seen a ghost. And her reaction is pretty much, you pussy.
Yeah, you're a pussy. How are you supposed to protect me?
She is sick of his shit. This is clearly not the first time this has happened. Because she
He's
has
a
a big blow up.
They're both super cute, though.
Yeah, well, they can both find...
I'm going to possibly make you feel awkward about saying that later.
Why?
Because they're like 15?
So
No.
what? They could be cute 15-year-olds.
No, that's
what the
not
fuck?
why.
Kids are cute all the time.
I'll be sure to mention it later, I promise.
I'm guessing that since they're in Kentucky, that they come from a small town and they're just the two most attractive kids in school, so they feel like they have to date each
Yeah,
other.
more like Kentucky, if you ask me.
I'll ask you later.
That's what's going on over there. Down in Louisville.
That's where I was.
yeah, Shée just got back from Louisville.
Oh, I like Louisville.
That's the only way to say it.
No, everyone's wrong. Everyone's saying it wrong.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Okay, all right.
Home of
okay,
Jim
okay.
Cornette.
We've hit our threshold for Hank Hill voice.
I knew it wasn't even full
We're
Hank Hill.
good.
I
That was
like
60 Hank
Kentucky
Hill.
a lot. I
Yeah.
like visiting Kentucky. Everything about it. It's great.
Yep. Well, just shore up the fans in Kentucky. We love your state.
I do. It's a fine state.
That's a fine, fine state.
Home of Billy Ray Cyrus.
And numerous ghost sightings.
Star of Marvel Comics. Marvel, the MCU. When is Billy Ray Cyrus joining the MCU?
I said that when we started the podcast. I got no heat on that either. But yeah, he's canonically eligible to be in the MCU.
But
no
when,
reason
though?
not to.
My question is when.
I don't know. I would say Thor 5, you bring in Beta Ray Bill, you call him Beta Ray Billy Ray.
I agree.
Beta Ray Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yep. And then you give him back that haircut so he looks like a horseman.
He's a perfect casting.
Like Beta Ray Bill.
The only thing is, I don't think Billy Ray Cyrus would allow himself to be a beta.
Yeah, Beta
the only
Ray
thing.
Cyrus. Nah,
Yep.
That's not going to work.
Beta
No,
Ray
he's going to be
Cyrus
Alpha
working.
Ray Bill.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Hey, we just
All right.
solved it. He could be in the MCU now.
He can do it. Bring him in. Bring him in.
Are they still making those movies? Or are they
Yeah.
done?
No, fuck this. You know how Marvel's owned by Disney? I want Billy
I
to
do.
be a Disney princess.
Wait, Hannah Montana's owned by Disney, yeah?
Yeah.
It's all
What the
incestuous.
fuck?
You can bring them all in. No,
It's a natural crossover.
They did have to acknowledge that they need to slow down production, that there's just too much and it's diluting the brand. So we'll see how that actually works out. But
yeah, we didn't. Did we need an Ant-Man 3?
Well, if it was good, sure, but that wasn't the case.
It might have been good. I didn't see it.
That's crap. So anyway, he sees this Native American. He's saying Indian. Are we just going to go with their terminology and say Indian, or are we going to use the better terminology?
A lot of Native Americans say Indian.
Yeah, I think they gave up that fight.
I don't know. It's just easier to say than Native American. Native American sounds kind of pretentious. Like Indian sounds like, like a casual guy.
They ain't from India. It's got nothing to do with India.
Yeah, so I ain't from India either.
Okay.
Nobody calls you
called
Indian, Mike.
I don't know. I can't control everyone, Shée.
Maybe if someone out there is calling Mike an Indian, he's okay with it. You should know that.
Whatever. You call me whatever you want.
Yeah, call me whatever you want. That is what a privileged white guy could say. It doesn't offend me.
I am a white guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's always the defense from boomer white guys. It's like, it doesn't bother me when people make Irish jokes. Yeah, well, fucking that's Irish. It's
I'm not Irish.
Thing. Yes, you are.
I'm American. I ain't from no Ireland. I've never been there.
That is true. I guess you do lose your association if you weren't actually
Yeah,
born
what
there.
the fuck?
Anyway.
If you live in America, you're American.
So, what was her name? Karen? Was her name Karen? Gary and Karen?
Yeah, sure.
I should probably have those names right. Yeah, we'll say
so.
It's Karen. And so Karen is sick of his shit. She's sick of him being a beta. Maybe this guy should be Beta Ray Bill. She's sick of his shit, and apparently this has been going on for a while. She thinks he's lying. She thinks he's full of shit. There's not any ghosts, and she's going to break up with him because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
this guy's
kind of
Archie.
Yeah, seriously. Well, yeah, he's only got one girlfriend. Even she's trying to leave him.
He's not a ginger.
Yeah, if he was only a ginger.
Well,
as we know,
he's got a plus there then.
That only works in the Archie universe. Every other universe in the multiverse is a bad thing to be a ginger.
Well, if he was a ginger, he wouldn't have been the best-looking boy in that Kentucky school.
No, he wouldn't. He would have been way down the. He would
be at the bottom, James. Not way down. He'd be at the bottom.
He'd just be getting dragged out to the fort to get the shit beaten out of him.
Dude.
Not participating in a blowjob party.
So my dad was a ginger in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And one of his family members told me a story about when he was a kid, he'd get off the bus and then run like 2 houses down and beat the shit out of this other kid. Mm-hmm. And then finally it dawned on me that what was probably happening is that kid was picking on him at school because he's a 5'8" ginger. And then as soon as they got off school grounds, my dad would go and kick his ass.
Yep.
Wow.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah. Well, you got to stand up for yourself.
You gotta.
Especially
you can't get suspended anymore.
Yeah, they're just going to make you write an essay about what you did wrong.
Dude, they'll fucking expel you. Are you kidding me? You get
Can you
enough
get expelled
fights?
anymore? I don't
They'll
know.
expel you. They used to expel kids back in my day.
Well, I got in fights in school, but it was in Detroit, and like just nobody cared. It was just there was so little oversight that I was just like, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah, expulsion really wasn't much of a threat, I guess, if you just
Yeah.
go to school anyway.
I don't have to go back to this horrible school in Detroit.
I'm sure Detroit really turned it around. I bet it's now more like Kentucky.
Every 5 years or so, I hear like, Detroit's really turned it around lately. It's been doing great lately. And then 5 years go by, and I hear the same thing again. And like, I don't think this is happening. I think
every few years they try to gentrify my neighborhood, and
Yeah.
they try, and it never fucking takes.
Yeah. Some things are just dead. They're just dead.
It's
Let them
just
die.
like that. It's just never gonna happen. All right, go put your boutique somewhere else.
So, Billy Ray Cyrus, he hears all this commotion as the kid's breaking up, and he pulls up on Rome, and his little tunic thing has changed from brown to purple. Mm-hmm. And the glove he's wearing is on and off based on whatever panel you're looking at.
Look at the size of that mullet.
And his mullet changes lengths too. This might not be the same guy.
Insane. It's like inappropriate.
It's almost down to his
That's how
butthole.
long it is.
Yeah. It's reaching butthole.
And he goes,
length.
"Hey kids, what you doing? Having a blowjob?"
And the kids are very excited about this. They recognize him immediately.
I really should have learned his voice so I could do an impression of Billy Ray Cyrus the entire time, and I just didn't prepare.
I don't think he has a distinctive voice. He just
He
sounds
might.
like some guy.
Who knows?
I guess we'll just have to make it up ourselves. So Billy Ray says, you know what? Maybe this kid's not full shit. It's possible there's a ghost here. I don't know. I'm just an idiot.
I love how Billy Ray shows up and the girl loses her shit.
Yeah, because she's seeing a real man for the first time.
I saw you on the TV. Are
So-
you afraid of ghosts like this? Fucking pussy! And punches him in the arm. Ow.
So Billy Ray says, well, it's possible you saw a ghost because this was a fort that the Cherokees
My ancestors, the
recaptured.
Cherokee.
Yes, he doesn't actually claim Cherokee ancestry in this book, but it's kind of
He
implied.
did in real
the
life,
way he-
apparently.
Yeah, the way he kind of lives. He says like, no. The white man came here and they pushed through the mountains and they established this fort. The Cherokee didn't care for that, none at all. So they overtook the fort, right? And eventually they were victims of American treaties. This is the first time hearing about any of this.
Yep.
I thought things were just fine. I remember.
Marvel Comics, the land of fantasy.
Yeah,
Can't
I think everything
possibly
was
be
fine.
real. Not on this
No.
patriotic July 3rd day.
Yeah, why would I celebrate Thanksgiving if any of this were true?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any
Right?
sense at all. I've seen those cartoons. They're having a great dinner.
Right. Look how well America worked out for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everyone is doing great right now. It's so good. So Billy Ray gives a little bit of a history lesson. He kind of shits on everybody here. He
Yeah,
blames
well, he did.
the.
Well, guess what? When
I
you're
mean,
talking
at least
about
it's equal opportunity.
Yeah.
when you talk about human history, you're gonna have to shit on everyone equally. Turns out.
That is. I guess that is true. Well,
Yeah, it's almost like everybody sucks.
Well, when you're talking about the Trail of Tears and broken treaties and everything, it's it's a little surprising to throw in. Also, the Native Americans were killing each other too, so let's not get all.
I mean, people are still killing each other now.
Yeah, they didn't really.
It's not like
stop.
that only happened then and only then with one set of people.
I don't know. I don't think people are killing anymore. I think people.
No, that
people
stopped. All right,
stop
thank
killing.
God.
And
We
nobody's
stopped killing each other
anymore.
for land.
Yeah, no. Nobody wants land anymore.
Oh,
Because
good.
they-
They all want land in the metaverse.
Yeah, we all have social media now. That's all we care about.
I only want that digital land.
Yeah, we want to expand my Second Life empire.
What if when people start having real life wars for digital land?
I mean, you do have. I've seen stories of people who do have digital apartments, and then they can't pay their real life rent on their digital apartment, and they're going to be evicted from their digital apartment, and they will beg to
For
be
real
allowed
money.
to stay. They will beg their digital landlord not to evict them.
Oh my God!
It's a little kooky.
Did
But,
you just raise everybody wrong? What happened there?
What are you I don't know your dad, but I'm assuming you sound like your dad right now.
He wouldn't understand any of the words we said to describe
Yeah,
that
that is
situation.
true.
He
That
wouldn't
is
get
true.
any of that.
That is true. Just
He's
be
like, what
cooking
do
a
you mean?
steak.
They own the land and there's a landlord and he owns it and this guy didn't pay, so they kick him out. I'm like,
Perfect
yeah, Dad, but it's a
arrangement.
digital
Not real.
apartment. It's not real. He'd be like, what do you mean it's not real?
It just goes back to cooking up a steak.
He would be pretty mad at me.
Cooking 4 steaks on 4 burners on the stove simultaneously.
You know what? My dad doesn't eat.
No?
I've almost never seen him eat food.
Wow.
All right, how crazy is that? The man just doesn't eat.
Maybe he has some sort of new supplement drip that he has.
I've seen him eat cookies and drink
Right.
Coca-Cola.
Right. There you go.
right.
A
Am I
hearty
your dad?
endorsement.
That's it.
That is Shay's ideal ideal diet. We should.
I'm sure my dad's a lot of people's ideal dads.
We-
My dad's
we
pretty
should-
based.
No, not on my ideal dad. My ideal diet.
Ideal
I said,
diet.
"Am I your dad?" Son.
Yeah, I'm just having.
Dad?
I'm just having weird dad Freudian slips.
Dad, why'd you make me go to work when I was 8? What's wrong with you?
Because you sucked. I wanted to see if I could make it better.
That's pretty much what he told me when I asked him that in real life.
Made you grow a spine, boy.
I have the biggest fucking spine now.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? God bless my dad for everything he did to me because I'm fucking tough and based as shit. It all worked out. It really, really worked out for me. Thank you, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
You should have grown a long mullet to cover up that spine.
Nope.
The
God
giant spine.
God removed my ability to have mullets because he felt I'd grow too powerful.
I just don't think your hair would grow down. I think it would grow out.
It would grow out, yeah.
Yeah, that
I used to have a
wouldn't-
lion's mane of hair.
Nice. So anyway, Billy Ray has a talk. He has some very odd facial contortions. Like maybe he got stung by.
It looks like he's in this panel. He's played by Steven Seagal.
It looks like he was stung by 5 bees.
Yes.
He's
He
stung
had
by
some work done.
multiple bees all at once.
What if we hired Steven Seagal to play Billy Ray Cyrus in the MCU?
What the fuck?
He's not doing anything else.
Because
I
he's Billy
watched-
Ray Cyrus.
Yeah. Right.
And in the MCU, No, there's no rule that says we have to use the real Billy Ray.
No.
You gotta hire someone who looks like how he looks in the comic book.
I tell you, I watched that buried SNL appearance with Steven Seagal. It's like notoriously the worst episode of SNL, and I watched
That's
it,
saying something.
and it's horrible. It's definitely bad, but it's not necessarily bad because Seagal is bad, which he is. It's just bad because most SNL sketches aren't very well written. And I think they just used the Steven Seagal thing as an excuse to bury an episode that was going to be shitty no matter what.
You know, the fact they have to write so many of these sketches and they have to do it so quickly, it's a miracle any of them are any good.
That is true.
Yeah.
There's a couple of winners once in a while, but man, it takes a while. So anyway, Billy Ray gives him a whole...
Hold on. What's your all favorite Saturday Night Live sketch of all time?
I mean...
The first one that pops in your head is the correct answer.
The first one that pops in my head, actually two popped in my head at the same time, but they're both Will Ferrell sketches. One is about a bad doctor who's telling a newborn parents that he just lost their baby. And he goes off on a long tangent about like how he just took the baby out to party and just lost him. And the other was a Will Ferrell one, which is a super bizarre sketch, and you can hear nobody laughing when you watch it. It's called Pet Chow brand rat poison, and it's a commercial for rat poison, but everything about it looks like it's dog food. Like it comes in a giant dog food bag. It's called Pet Chow, but that's his name. It's Pet Chow. It's not Pet Chow. And so it's just like big meaty chunks of rat poison, and don't ever let your dog eat it. It's not dog food. It's rat poison. It's very confusing. It's very strange. And yeah, those are my favorite SNL sketches. Just the weird nonsense they would do at the very end of the episodes.
Mine too. Shée, what's yours?
There was a sketch a long time ago when Paul Rudd was hosting, and it was like him and Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, the singers.
And somebody else, I think, in the car. And they were talking and singing the song Garden Party from Ricky Nelson. And in between, they'd tell ridiculous stories. And then they'd go into the chorus and they'd all sing along. And there's a line in there that kills me every time. That is, I believe if I'm remembering it correctly, Will Forte saying, "You guys know how I like to do a little bit of cocaine all the time?"
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it fucking slays me.
It's a very funny.
I would say number two is the sketch when The Rock hosted, and they have the most evil villain.
Dude, that's mine.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, that's mine. I was gonna say that, but he like makes the child molesting robot,
and they're all like, "Whoa,
dude, that is so funny."
It is.
It is very good. I'm surprised Shée didn't go with the Tim Robinson, John Tesh and his brother.
Oh shit!
Basketball sketch.
That's a great
That's a good one,
song,
too.
and it's a fun sketch, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
What about the one where like Jim Carrey is like telling people to lose weight with meth? And,
Ride the Snake.
Ride the Snake.
Ride the Snake. That's a good one too.
Yeah. Decades of quality material. Once in a while.
Okay, all right. One more. Will Ferrell is he's teaching a dog obedience class. It's like a commercial for dog obedience. It's
shaming.
Using sarcasm to get your dog to obey. That kills me.
Man, he had a lot of great little.
He did.
He had a lot of great little bits that clearly made no sense, and they would shove him at the end of the episode, and they should have been leading the episodes.
I'm sure I like a lot of his movies too.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
do.
I bet. So anyway, so Billy Ray, he starts talking to these kids, and he's telling them, well, anything could happen. Hey, you guys want to come to my concert tomorrow?
Yeah, that's sus.
This is weird. So he does have a bizarre relationship with children over the course of this book.
I mean, he has a bunch of kids in real life, though, right?
He does.
Yeah, but they're not mentioned in this book ever.
Well,
like,
I mean,
he doesn't
probably
want
just
people.
likes kids.
All right. He also seems to really enjoy calling kids parents and telling them they're okay.
Yeah,
like, that
because
both stories.
He mentions that he's married.
Because like
he
realizes how sus this all is, so he makes sure the parents are all on board.
Right, and we're going to see that there's some tabloid reporters who are clearly looking for a very specific kind of story.
Sure.
I mean, how many stories have we heard about underage kids being on rock stars' buses?
Yeah, all
like
of the rock
legit.
stars.
Every rock star, every bus, every underage
every
person.
Warp Tour.
Yeah,
it's gross. There's always someone going to the drowning pools special backstage area.
I'm sure drowning pool?
Are they still around?
No, I think that guy died.
That guy died.
Oh.
At an Ozfest I was at. He like
Fuck,
performed.
really?
He performed, went back to his trailer, and fucking died.
Are you a person of interest in this?
Dude, it wasn't even like an Illinois like Ozfest. I was in Wisconsin.
Wow.
I just happened to be there.
Anyway, what the hell were we at here? All right. So anyway, Billy Ray says, yeah, don't worry about it. Talk to my public relations director, Lotta Flack.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of. I wonder if like she was a real lady.
With a name like Lotta Flack.
Could be like a I don't know, a name she earned.
The name Lotta Flack it implies that she's a pain in the ass, but she's actually super friendly.
Yeah, well, maybe she's a pain in his ass.
Yeah, maybe. So he rides away. He's like, I don't want those kids to end up like someone in my heartbreak songs, so maybe we can help them out somehow.
They're 15.
I'm gonna make sure those kids do a blowjob.
Make sure those kids stay together and do blowjobs for their entire lives.
Yeah.
So
you know,
the kids...
I bet he's always calling the parents because he himself would like him to be called.
Yeah, as a parent, you want somebody to call. Yeah, of course.
I'm really trying to see the very best in Billy Cyrus. The most wholesome man
at least
in
the
world.
fictional version of him is very
I
wholesome.
love how he gets off tour and the first thing he does is ride off on his horse alone. His kids are like, Daddy, you're home. He goes, all right, I got to go ride Rome for a while.
Bye-bye.
So the kids go and they meet up with Lotta Flack the next day, and Lotta Flack puts them right back in the front row, and then tells them, "Don't leave. I'll be back for you after the show." Weird. So then we flash over to the Billy Ray concert. It's outside under the stars, pretty beautiful, and he has given it his all. He is belting it out.
Love that they're like, don't go nowhere because Billy Ray loves having sex with teenage boys and girls.
Now, this does start looking very, very suspicious.
Because that's what your touring manager does. Look for people for the guy to fuck while the show's happening.
Yeah, it seems like Rammstein is kind of...
Oh, you know what? I haven't looked into that. I like Rammstein and I'm heartbroken.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, there's no way that band wasn't acting inappropriately.
Yeah. Who was acting? I think there were a few that were probably acting. I don't think. Did David Lee Roth ever do it? Like, he seems like the kind of guy who was too jacked up on just like doing karate to bother anybody.
David Lee Roth is a hero.
He doesn't seem like a sex pest, oddly enough.
I mean, he was an EMT for several years.
He was an EMT, but I'm talking about in the 80s. I'm talking about in the heyday.
I don't know. I'm sure they got into some shenanigans.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He seems like more of just like an obnoxious party boy than necessarily a danger.
I mean, he said one of his heroes was the guy who invented McDonald's hamburgers.
Right. Would that be Ray Kroc or was that somebody else?
It's like one of the most David Lee Roth.
I mean, Ray Kroc founded McDonald's, but he didn't find the like the concept of McDonald's.
A very David Lee comment.
Oh, dude. What a great guy. When can we do his Marvel
comic?
music comic?
Oh, man. We should make it. We'll have AI make it.
Yeah, we'll have it. Send us your AI Marvel music David Lee Roth comic book.
Or draw it yourself. Whatever you do. I don't care how you get it to us. Just get a Marvel music David Lee Roth comic book to us, please. Please and thank you. All right.
The two people who make us art. Go ahead and do that.
You can, if you're a writer, you can just write the script. Whatever you got, just give us something. You give us something. So Billy Ray is having a great time. He's crowd surfing and everything. And then we meet these two other guys in the story. These tabloid reporters, and they notice what's going on. They notice that these two kids are getting treated very special. And one of them says, maybe a story for our tabloid.
In the MCU version of this, the fat photographer is played by the guy who stole Pee-wee's bike. Oh,
wow. Yeah, that's pretty much him, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a 90s trope.
Well, it's a very stereotypical skinny, tall guy, shorter, fat guy.
It's your classic
comedic villain.
It's your classic Tommy Boy setup.
Can you imagine? They're like, all right, we're going to catch Billy Ray having sex with these teenagers in a bisexual fling. Oh, boy, I can't wait to get him. But then they find out it's really just about catching ghosts.
No, really, when we see these characters, they're noting that the kids are getting special VIP treatment, and they think that maybe this is a story for the tabloid.
Yeah, it sure is.
They don't say what.
What could they possibly be thinking he's doing?
Come on. The same thing we're thinking.
That's what I'm trying to say, is what could they... If you're looking at this through an innocent lens, What other possible explanation is there?
There isn't. That's what we're supposed to. That's implied.
This was a comic book for children.
I mean, the guy knows that what happens on tour. Like he's a grown adult. Whoever wrote this, he knows what goes on.
Says, now she's ushering them to his dressing room. What other explanation could there possibly be?
Well, also the age of consent varies from state to state. They could be one of the younger ones.
We don't know where they're playing. Yeah, he exclusively plays those states. He sticks to those states. He doesn't come north very much.
Why did Aerosmith do that? They would have saved all that trouble.
Yeah,
we're doing all our tours in fucking Afghanistan now.
They're like, why is David Bowie only touring in the States with the lowest age of consent?
He's only going to the Middle East. Yeah, so...
Man, this guy, he really loves Saudi Arabia for some reason.
It must be the weather. So a lot of flack. Escorts these kids back. It says, yeah, go on in. Billy Ray wants to talk to you about ghosts, so go on in.
Yeah, that's not code. He doesn't want to make ghosts all over their chest.
She's like, she's like, hey, ectoplasm.
Yes, it's ectoplasm from the spooky ghost.
She goes, Billy Ray, their safe words are ghost.
So they walk in, and Billy Ray Cyrus is shirtless.
And he's brushing his hair with a horse brush.
I would love it if the very last panel of this book, he just turns into a horse, and we were supposed to know that he was a horse this whole time.
And in this panel, he's played by actor-president Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah, he's a sweaty mess of a man. He's shirtless. Children come in, and he tells them, hey, get in these bizarre costumes I brought you.
He's probably not wearing pants either.
We don't see below the belt. No, they had to crop that out.
He's telling them to dress up in frontier time clothes because he wants to fuck them.
He's got a very specific fetish. This is what Mike was talking about. Like, once you've had access to so much sex and so much pornography, you get very specific with your niches. And now he needs, first of all, it has to be at least a threesome. 2 of them have to be underage, and they have to be dressed in frontiersman's clothing.
Yep, it got too complicated.
It's a whole production now for him.
Just find one person that you love and focus on making each other come. Okay?
It's hard enough.
Quit complicating things.
It's just what we do. It's human nature. Just like the Twitch streams.
I am so easy to please.
Yeah. So Billy Ray says, yep, I've called your folks. It's okay. By the way, at no point did he get their numbers or their names, so I don't know how he called their parents.
He just told them that, James. He's kidnapping these kids to take across state lines to have sex with.
We saw their entire conversation. At no point did they exchange names or numbers. Clearly he's lying.
Also, this is like... At this point, he is the biggest star in the world. They're going to be totally down to do all this.
Yeah, of course. You're not going to turn him down. I wouldn't turn Billy Ray Cyrus down in 1995. And he'd probably be looking for me. I was 12.
Dude, he's probably got a big dick and he's going to want to pound your ass. Are you sure? Yeah. Even if you do like Billy Ray Cyrus, do you want him pounding your ass?
Well, I would be curious to see what his dick's mullet looks like.
No, you want to pound his ass because you can hold onto his hair.
There is no way Billy Ray Cyrus is taking it in the ass. There is no way.
I don't know. Sometimes it's the big dudes that are really into the pegging.
You're right.
You never know. You never know. You can't judge a book by its cover that way.
We don't know how complicated this has become for him.
He didn't start out getting pegged. I'll agree with that. But by this point, you never know.
It hits that G-spot.
You think he just brought backstage a more alpha teenage boy and he just went for it while he was plowing his girlfriend?
Yeah, so he's getting Alpha. Are you saying he's getting Eiffel Towered?
I'm saying at some point, right? Like he's been alpha, giving it to the teenagers every show until one day a more dominant teenager, while he's on top of the girl, slides it in his achy breaky ass.
That'd be his Old Town Road.
Wow.
That's what the song is about.
Dang it.
So some like 17-year-old on like a SARMs rampage.
If I was just better about pop culture, I would have had Shea's great joke.
Yeah, well, as long as that's what Shea's there for.
Said I had a boomer joke.
Shea sluiced through all the...
Mine wasn't a joke as much as literally just saying the song lyrics.
I know, but it was funnier. It would have been funnier if I just said that.
So... Billy Ray tells them, he gives them the excuse that tomorrow we're going to go riding and we're looking for ghosts at that fort that we were just at.
What if
Because
he
they're
has
already-
like 6 shooters and he's pointing a gun at him? He goes, "Oh, we're going."
We're going. It's gonna be a magical time.
They're like, "Wow, sounds like fun." As some Billy Ray Cyrus is sliding out of his ass.
We're going back to the same fort because the artist learned how to draw that fort already, and we don't have time for a new fort. So
We
we're going
don't.
back.
We
We're going
don't.
back. We're reusing that artwork. We're going back.
So is Rick Moranis? Does he play the tabloid writer?
Yeah, so the writer looks like Rick Moranis.
So Rick Moranis and the fat guy who stole Pee Wee's bike.
Yes, yeah, and he's the photographer. The fat guy is the photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going out there, and the girl says, Billy Ray doesn't fool me. He hopes that frontiersmen at the fort will somehow cause ghosts to stir. And she's laughing at him. So she's acknowledging that he genuinely believes in ghosts.
Mm-hmm. But
So
she also sucked his dick.
she didn't think the ghosts were real. She thought this whole thing was a work by her shitty boyfriend. Whom apparently she broke up with, but they're still hanging out. Like, even though, like, she told him she didn't want to see him again. But okay, fine.
Yeah, she humiliated him hardcore in front of Billy Ray, and Billy Ray felt so bad about it. He's been doing all this just to get them back together.
This is an elaborate scheme. How did he get their Frontiers clothes for them in like one day?
What if he like pulls them aside? Oh, he has it. In
He's
many
done this
sizes.
before. Yeah.
Yes,
This is not a
exactly.
first time.
He like, what if he's just looking for teenagers that can fit in the costumes? Like he has one set of costumes, and he just looks for teenagers that fit.
So that's what a lot of Flack's job is, to like vet through the
Yes.
teenagers and figure out who fits the outfits.
Yes.
Wow, this is an elaborate.
Oh,
elaborate
Jesus.
scheme.
We've just made him into Epstein.
Yes.
I was thinking Jared
with
Fogle.
Ghislaine.
I was thinking
There's a
Jared Fogle.
A lot of folks doing this, guys.
Yeah, this is not a limited thing. Ugh, gross.
20% of men everywhere are doing this. Some variation of this.
And maybe it's not Frontiers clothes, maybe it's a clown outfit, but it's something like that.
He goes, "Come right up with me. The men gotta talk." And he like pulls the kid aside and goes, "Hey, so you're being a little simpy, but don't worry. You know, I see you like this girl. I'm doing all this shit just so you guys get back together, so you can get yourself a blowjob."
Yeah.
That blowjob.
He goes, "Wow,
Mr.
Billy Ray,
Cyrus.
thanks, but don't you have your own children to help?"
Do you have a life? Yeah, this is incredibly complicated. And also, apparently, you're in the middle of a tour.
Well, it
like,
gets more complicated because
Yeah.
at this point, so they go through, they do their little talky bits or whatever. Nothing's really accomplished other than the fact that they're still not ready to get back together.
Yeah.
And then the Native American, I'm sorry, what did we
Whatever, you're up to you. Up to you.
The indigenous Americans are
Nice.
also
Americans.
storming the fort for
Right.
a completely unrelated reason.
So yeah, this gets very complicated. So as the tabloid reporters are following them, and there's a whole thing with there. But
No,
also,
no, we gotta talk. We have to
Oh,
set
boy.
up the exposition. Like
All right.
so, like
and the fat guy likes to eat
Okay.
candy bars
he
that are
likes
made of
eating
honey.
specifically honey bars.
honey
Yeah.
bars.
And he's a littering piece of shit.
He litters, and he's chastised about that.
Yeah, the guys are fine stalking Billy Ray to potentially break his pedo story.
exactly.
But don't litter.
They're more concerned about their careers than calling the police.
Yes. Well, in fairness, like, you're getting on their case for that, but in fairness, if they are right about this and Billy Ray is molesting these children, I mean, these guys are heroes. They're gonna blow this case wide open.
Well, no, they're allowing it to continue to happen
just until they get proof.
because they want to take photographs of it.
Right. Okay. Well, they got to get something. They got to get their beaks wet.
these
They gotta get
people are
something out of this.
parasites.
Well, sometimes it takes a parasite to actually make some progress. I don't know.
So hard take from James. Parasites necessary.
Listen, we live in a complicated world.
All right, we're 20% of men
It's
are
a,
forcing people to dress up as frontiersmen because they made it too complicated.
Well, and then the indigenous Americans are
Yes.
storming the fort for some other reason, some ritual.
now
No,
let's-
they're having
the-
a boys'
they're
night.
like so these are some indigenous Americans who live in modern society, but they're playing dress up, and they're basically going out to the fort to kind of play some sort of like they're doing a LARPing. They're LARPing.
They're also the most successful men in town.
It
Right.
really sounds like it.
They're
They're like
lawyers
doctors and lawyers and
doctors,
shit.
Professors, yeah.
Like
And
yeah,
so
it's like so even in Kentucky, the rich guys just get together and do stuff.
Yeah.
Well-
Okay, so let's say then that
So-
it's a boys' night. One way or another, these two groups both decided by chance to hang
technically.
out at the fort.
Right. Billy Ray and his weird sex ring, the tabloid reporters that are following them, and then there are some indigenous Americans who are dressing up like their ancestors to go hang out at this fort and relive their ancestors' glory days.
And everyone thinks the other set is a ghost.
Everybody's convinced that everyone else is a ghost, for sure.
And look how
shenanigans.
Look how the group of Native American local businessmen have great haircuts.
Those are probably wigs, I'm going to guess.
Well, they don't look stupid like our hero.
No, they don't. Well, any of those could be turned into a mullet if they wanted to. No, they've chosen not to.
They've chosen not to because they're not stupid.
So
notice because they're lawyers and professors.
Yeah, these are successful people. So, Gary, our boy, he's hearing the Native Americans, hitting their tom-toms. It's like, oh, well, maybe that's the ghosts. Maybe that's the ghost coming in. It couldn't possibly be living people. It has to be ghosts.
The least successful people here in the comic book are the tabloid guy and the photographer.
I don't know. Those kids are bringing nothing.
They're having sex with megastar Billy Ray Cyrus. That's pretty damn successful.
He's very selective.
His touring manager, I'm sure she makes a good living.
Yeah, he's got to pay her a lot to keep her quiet. You kidding me? But she's also complicit.
I feel real bad for the machine of the touring company that went with Billy Ray when he was a megastar, and they all got paid and created lives based off of that, and then his ass fizzled out.
Yeah, well, he's still around. You're so certain
but
that he's not
doing mega tours.
He may not be doing mega tours, but he's Miley Cyrus's dad.
That's true. You think they just transitioned over to Miley, the same worldwide traveling company?
Sure, they're using the same lighting kit. Yeah,
I'm sure
same
she's
rig.
a super cool lady, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's a lot of fun. I'm sure she's a good Christian lady.
I mean, Miley Cyrus, from what I'm aware of her, seems like a fun person.
Billy Ray is actually, I don't know if he still is, but at least at one point, he was on the board of one of those Christian parents wanting to censor your TV show, boards, those committees. Okay. He was a member of that. So he's responsible for trying to, make sure you don't see any boobs.
Well, Miley made up for it by showing everyone or everything.
Good for her.
You know what I will say? Good for her. She showed everything.
Good for her. Why not? Yeah. I got most of those bits too.
As long as she's comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you can show whatever you want. It's just, my only issue with it is don't pretend like you're making some sort of artistic statement. You're not.
Why
it's
not?
shock value. Because it's not. It's shock value.
Shock value can be an artistic statement.
The first time you do it, sure. But
no,
Madonna,
keep doing it.
I'm saying Madonna did the shock value thing and other people before her decades ago. So what new thing is Miley Cyrus adding to the whole shock thing?
Now, although
she taught her vagina how to talk.
Sick. Let's look up that. How'd she do that?
On? Miley Cyrus's vagina talks?
Yeah, how is that?
Yeah, they sung a duet.
Vagina
What are you
duet?
talking about?
I'm kidding, Mike.
Fans allow. Oh yeah. She did allow fans to touch her vagina and butthole on stage, though. That is true.
All right, dude. Miley Cyrus is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but then she apologized for all that stuff recently. She's like, I don't do that no more.
She was just having fun.
Yeah, just
touch my butthole and vagina.
Having a good time. Yeah. So anyway, there's a bunch of misunderstandings. People think that they're ghosts. I think we can skim through some of this stuff, and then the tabloid reporters are attacked by a bar because they smell the honey bars that our chubby photographer eats all the time.
And the bear is drawn really well.
They put a lot of lines into that guy.
All the artwork's been really good as of yet.
It's all right. There are errors, there are continuity errors, but
besides
panel for panel,
the continuity
it's okay.
errors, I'm saying just the overall quality has been pretty good.
If you look at an individual panel, it's pretty decent. Sure.
Yeah.
If you try to string them together, it's nonsense.
I'm a lot less hard on these comics than you, James. How'd that happen?
I just think I'm being more nuanced about it. You're just
maybe I'm just overall very forgiving.
So here's an offensive moment. So the tabloid reporters.
My part of it.
The tabloid reporters go running from this bear, and they climb up a tree, and they're like, how do we get rid of this bear? I know. I'll take my tape recorder. I'll play it back at a high speed, so it'll be loud and fast-pitched, and it'll scare the bear off. And it works. But then our indigenous people, they hear this, and they think it's the Shawnee language, which is kind of offensive on their part.
Well, maybe they don't like the Shawnee. Maybe they're dicks.
I guess they are, but he says it. He says it sounds like the Shawnee language. This was once their hunting grounds, too. But dude, just every high-pitched gobbledygook is it's not another person's language. You racist.
Maybe it does sound like that though. We don't know.
It just sounds like high
How's
pitched
your
gobbledygook.
Shawnee?
Yeah, I haven't been doing many Duolingo Shawnee languages.
Maybe the writer hates the Shawnee.
He might. Paul
He's
S.
like,
Newman.
Fuck those guys.
Maybe the writer did as much research as we did.
Yeah.
I think I may have capped him on the research. I may have actually lapped that guy. I think I did a
think you
little
a great
bit more.
job considering.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this was written over a weekend. Whatever.
Like, this guy crushed it. He's the most prolific writer of all time.
Well, comic book writer. Yeah. He doesn't seem to have a lot like accredited to him that is very acclaimed, but there sure is a lot of it.
So Billy Ray and crew hear some commotion, and Billy takes this opportunity to fuck Gary.
Yes.
He's like, "Hey, what was that? Gary, come with me." Like, okay.
So he pulls Gary away, and they kind of peek over the ledge of the fort, and the indigenous people, they see him, and they're like, "Oh shit, pale faces, the spirits of the pale faces."
Very pale
Yes.
faces.
Yeah. And so they decide, all right, well, we got to ride on this fort. We got to storm this fort in case there are white men ghosts there.
Yep.
Okay, weird.
Maybe that was the goal all along. They could be tripping.
Yeah, they probably did a lot of peyote out
Like
there.
I went camping with a lot of my friends growing up, and that's what we did.
Super gacked out and just went looking
Gacked out
for...
means taking meth, James.
Whatever.
No, I didn't
Whatever.
do that.
So you got super fucked
least
up, and you went
not
looking.
then.
You went looking for forts.
Yes.
So how much weed did you inject into yourself?
Yeah.
All right, you guys are having a good time. You guys are having a great time. So anyway, the girls go to sleep while Billy Ray says,
Showcase
"I'm gonna
their asses.
showcase those fine asses." Well, a lot of flack's got to get a little for herself as well.
Yeah, she's not bad looking either.
No, she's a good-looking lady.
Even though she's picking up teenagers for Billy Ray Cyrus.
Well, she's her good looks make her more trustworthy to the teenagers. That's how
Not a
she's
real
able to
person, by the way. I
snare
looked
them
it
in.
up.
A lot of flack. Oh yeah, I guess we shouldn't be implying that she's a pedophile's assistant if she was a real person. So I guess
I mean,
it's
we're
good that
talking
she's
about
not.
Billy Ray, and he is a real person.
This is the fictional version of Billy Ray. It's not the real guy.
All right.
So Billy Ray says, "I'm just going to stay up with Gary, and we're going to have not gay sex." And so they
You
stay
definitely
up.
found a favorite of the two.
Well, this is why you get two. In case one of them doesn't quite do it for you, you got another one.
All right.
And so we hear all the the war drums and the war chants and everything, and everybody's got fake guns, but they've got real bows and arrows.
Yep.
Yeah. And so Karen wakes up and she's like, "Oh shit, I guess there really are ghosts."
Yeah, because ghosts can't hurt you. They don't have real bodies.
And she's
Good
like,
to know.
"Oh, good. I guess I'm not scared about it. I guess that can't be psychologically scarring anymore, so never mind. I'm fine."
Did we miss the part where the Native American was just like, white people don't have souls?
Yes, he does. We passed that part where he's like, "That can't possibly be spirits of white people because white people don't have spirits."
Yes. Well, no, because they don't believe in it, so they don't.
Oh, they
have
don't believe it, so they
spirits.
don't have it. Yeah, it's like
Dude,
the
I'm gonna start
it's like the
believing.
secret.
I'm gonna start believing that I have a spirit because, like, what if like not believing it means you don't have one?
Yeah, it's like The Secret. You just
I never
gotta, you
thought of that.
materialize it. Yeah,
I'm just gonna believe it just in case.
it's
like my
faith-based.
Catholicism.
Yeah, really.
So
How
say,
is this
welcome
any
to
different?
agnosticism.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
living there.
How the hell is this any different from religion?
It's not. I mean, I'll
You just-
always have that shit like deep down, and I'll always make sure I'm covered.
You just talked yourself into being a Christian.
I mean, I'm never. I'm not like not a Christian. I guess.
Oh wow, playing it safe just in case.
Like I'm not. Like I was raised in
Yeah.
Catholicism, so
Well,
like I
it's-
guess I'll always be a Christian.
I mean, you could probably piss God off.
They
enough
call
that
it
you would-
being a lapsed Catholic.
Yeah.
That's the category I fall under. And of course, none of that's real.
Well, hang on.
Or it
you're
was,
piss-
or it was more aliens.
You're
Who
pissing
knows?
God off. You're pissing God off now. You're getting on his bad side. Anyway, so a fight ensues, and all of their guns are fake, but they're figuring, well, maybe if we just fire these blanks, it'll scare all off these ghosts. They think these Native American people are ghosts, by the way,
Right?
but they're
And
still
the Native
figuring.
Americans think that they're ghosts, even though
yeah.
they're all college professors and lawyers, educated men.
And none of them look like ghosts. They all look like normal, not transparent people.
Well, they just wanted to LARP.
Yeah, they could have just agreed to do this, to come out
Like-
and have fun together.
Hey, Billy Ray Cyrus, are we LARPing? He goes, we sure are.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Are those kids with you? Are those yours? He goes,
so-
no, I don't spend time with mine.
So the fight continues. Yeah, seriously. So the fight continues. We see some more of that bear. The bar goes and scares one of the Native Americans. And so the Native American rides up to the fort and essentially asks Billy Ray for help in getting the bear off his case. Right? And he helps him. They shoot the bear, or at least they attempt to shoot the bear, but they've only got blanks.
Yeah, but the sound scares the bear away. We can tell by his face.
Are bears dumb? I get the feeling bears are dumb.
They're dumb in certain ways.
Yeah, they're all brawn, I think.
But bears are surprisingly
bemmers.
clever in other ways. Yes, a bear is a bemmer.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the brain of a bemmer, I don't think.
The B in this case stands for bear.
Bear, yes. He is bear emotion and muscles, for sure.
You don't need to have brains to try to use the brains you have.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's more about the percentage of your brain you're using.
It's more about you have to try to use your brain.
Yeah, you got to make an effort. You got to show that you care. All right. So this scares the bear away, and the one Native American that ran into the fort, he catches up with Billy Ray, and he goes, "Aren't you fucking Billy Ray Cyrus? This is crazy, right?"
He goes, "Hey, I'm the mayor."
This is statistically unlikely. Yes. And the photographers get a bunch of shots of this. They think it's a great story. I don't know what fucking story they think they're reporting here.
I don't know. What are they going to say?
I don't know.
Billy Ray Cyrus found in a fort with 2 kids.
Weird shit's going on.
What if they act like they're, wow, this is a crazy story. They thought you were ghosts. You thought they were ghosts. What a scoop. And then Billy Ray goes, I can't wait to read about this in the morning. It's just him with the 2 kids. Scandal.
Well, it ends with one of the highest thoughts I've ever read, which is maybe just for a moment we were the spirits of our what's it say, brave fathers. Right.
So what happens is the Native Americans, they make peace with Billy Ray, and then the press shows up, and they're like, "Ah, shit, I'm an idiot, and my strobe light went off when I took pictures. It was a once in a lifetime photo." I don't really know why he thinks it's once in a lifetime photo. Everybody's still standing there. He could take another photo, but he says he was overexposed, so everybody in the picture looks like ghosts. Right?
What if Billy Ray went to the writer, he had some input. He goes, "Okay, so in my story, right, I really want there to be some Cherokees. Those are my people, the Cherokee people. I want to do something with them." He goes, "Okay, I could do that. And show that I'm really good with kids. I don't really care how, just make sure there's a couple of kids in there, like a boy and a girl. And I teach them.
And I call their parents.
I make sure to call their parents, too, so it's not weird."
Definitely call them. No, it's totally fine. I call their parents. I'd like that to happen in both stories, though. Really, Billy Ray? It's kind of going to be repetitive if it happens in both stories.
Both a boy and a girl.
No, it's got to happen in both stories. It's my thing.
Kind of the same.
Kind of the same. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, that story ends with them saying, yeah, maybe we all look like ghosts in that photos because for a second we were the spirits of our brave fathers. And then the Karen, who has been skeptical this whole time, says it's possible, right, Gary? And they canoodle, and Billy Ray
she swung too far in the other direction.
He's like, ha, thank God I can't get that boy pregnant.
Your mouth can't get pregnant.
Dark Side's Couch t-shirt. Your mouth can't get pregnant.
Hey, we didn't invent that one. That'd be just us stealing somebody else's copyright. But yeah.
You didn't just come up with that just now?
That's an old joke from the 90s.
Dang it.
Yeah, get with it, Grandpa. Your dad was probably telling people that joke.
My dad, no, dude.
In the middle of an 18-hour shift.
Dude, imagine the guy from the American Gothic painting. Okay?
Nice. All right, that's the end of the first story. Moving on to our second story. It's called No Way to Stow Away. And man, look at him giving us all. Look at this.
This made me so uncomfortable.
Why? Why uncomfortable?
Because it looks like he's just thrusting.
It looks like he's about to take his shit on stage.
If you only look at one image from this comic, check the YouTube for this image. Billy Ray Cyrus on stage, going like Gorilla Man. Like he's having a Tim Allen moment. And he's squatting on stage in his weird open-vested tunic thing that he wears.
Because he's a Cherokee.
Because he is an absolute 100% Cherokee. And he's flexing, and it looks like his right trap is way bigger than his left.
Let's not body shame him.
Yes, he's been doing a lot more with that right arm.
He's like that lady that peed
maybe
in that guy's mouth on stage.
Oh, yeah, that beautiful lady and that lucky man.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know what we're talking about. Yeah, they were a cover band.
Show her the video.
Yeah, we don't need
I
to
don't
watch
need
the
to
video.
see someone pee on someone.
Yeah.
It's in his mouth, too, on
Yeah,
stage.
brought him on stage, squatted on him, pulled down her pants, and just peed in his mouth.
Yeah.
It's pretty metal. It was certainly based. You can't
I
deny it
don't
was
know.
based.
Not too sure. No.
Did the guy know she was going to
Yes,
pee in his mouth?
he sure did. I think it
Well,
was his idea.
He was being squatted on by a notoriously, eccentric singer. So, whatever happens, you've kind of signed up for anything. Anything goes at that point,
I wonder how he felt afterwards.
Great. It was
You
like
see,
a baptism.
right there, he made things too complicated.
He did. That guy needed that. It had to be on stage.
She made it too complicated, and he made it too complicated.
If only they could have just held hands and had a closed mouth kiss.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been great. Everyone could have went home happy.
Sometimes
This is what happens when you show your ankles.
like delayed gratification. Okay.
There's a dude in the audience of this Billy Ray concert, and I think the artist had never. This was at I guess when the concept of backwards baseball caps was kind of entering the culture, and I don't think this guy understood how it works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
like
notice that.
It's got a bill.
So this is a guy. We see the back of this dude's head, and he's got the clasp. So
It's like he forgot, which way he was drawing the hat.
It's a frontwards hat with a bill on the back, I guess.
It's like he's like, shit, I forgot which one I was making. I don't want to redraw this.
No, I don't have time. I gotta draw that. I gotta spend more time on that bear.
Because I was make it real detailed.
Yeah, that's weird. So anyway, in this story, we've got another young teenage couple.
That
Who look exactly the same.
They do.
Actually, they're brother and sister now.
But, yeah,
it's
now
getting
they're-
more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. And it made me uncomfortable because it took me maybe 2 pages before I realized these were not the same kids.
Yeah, they look a lot younger, too.
Yeah.
It's going down to 12-year-olds here.
Billy Ray is just sinking deeper into the mud.
Well, he's just, he's raised his tolerance.
As he's taking his shit on stage, gritting his teeth to push it out because he's a nervous pooper. He's also keeping one eye open, scanning the crowd, looking for the perfect pair, brother and sister duo, for him to dress up in frontiersman's clothes to fuck.
And he found them. But unfortunately, they're going to scamper away because they've got a plan that involves them leaving before the concert is over.
And as they saw him looking at him, he goes, I got to get my sister out of here.
Yep. And so they run back. We don't know what happened to him, but we know it's really foggy backstage. And apparently Dave Grohl is on Billy Ray Cyrus's crew.
Billy Ray makes everyone in his roadie crew have a mullet.
Yeah, that's the official uniform of being
He's
on
like,
the Billy
you're
Ray crew.
cutting your hair into a mullet if you're joining this team. And one guy goes, I'm wearing a Marvel Spider-Man jacket.
Yes,
I already have a mullet.
I'm a grown man who likes Spider-Man.
It's like those people that have the Tweety Bird jackets. How much do you like Tweety Bird?
At the time, I don't think anybody's doing it now. Tweety Bird with like the cool glasses, like the tiny glasses pulled down over the nose.
With
was
or
that?
without?
With? Yeah, with. What are you talking about?
Sometimes there's just normal Tweety Bird in the back of a denim jacket.
No, Tweety Bird's always crossing
Yeah.
her arms. His arms?
I think it's a him. I think
Their
Tweety's a boy.
arms.
Their
Let's look up
arms.
if Tweety Bird is a boy or a girl.
Is Tweety? Oops, here we go. Is Tweety Bird a boy or a girl?
Well,
that's
everyone's
a common. I think it's a boy. Male. Tweety is male, though his ambiguity was played with. Yeah, the picture they use has a flower in his hair.
Play with my ambiguity, Billy Ray Cyrus. He goes, "You're too old, 40-year-old man."
Yeah, you're too old by like triple. Yeah. So
And even then, you were a ginger with coarse hair.
go back to the Archie universe if you want to make that work.
He goes, "My boys need to have the hair of a horse."
So Billy Ray, they start heading out to their Nashville gig. They're going through the fog. The fog's getting really, really dense. And then they come upon a gas station run by Merlin.
Not Merklin.
Not Merklin.
It might be Merklin. He's fucking one
Well,
of like.
It literally says in the background, "I am Merlin." There's a sign that says, "I am
didn't
Merlin."
notice that.
Right in the background. So, yeah, it's this old man. He kind of looks like the Midnight Philosopher, if y'all remember that guy, right?
Yeah, the guy. That's another
Speaking
guy
of
who's made things too
inappropriate
complicated.
inappropriate relationships.
Or his life, he was unable to make things complicated at all, and so the only woman who was around was his niece. And unfortunately for all of us, the niece was very interested in her eccentric uncle.
And she wore those skirts like you wouldn't believe. Oh my God.
She was a cutie.
She was very cute.
But even though he didn't have the opportunity to make things too complicated, she clearly made things very complicated for herself.
So this is Merlin. This is the third time we've seen Merlin lately. We saw him in The Black Knight. We saw him, Merklin, in Visionaries. And I'm wondering if maybe this is the actual Merlin. Like, if it's the same Merlin through all these comics that has sort of infiltrated the comic book realm and infiltrated our podcast and is maybe actually in charge of our wheel.
Oh, God. I thought it was God.
No, my theory is that the real life Merlin that actually exists in our real world is infiltrating our entertainment, infiltrating our comics, and he's been the one in charge of the wheel. That's my guess.
Merlin, if you're real in the real world and you're listening and controlling the wheel, you should give me a call because I have a bunch of questions.
Got a lot about that backwards living thing. How does that work?
Yeah, I just want to know about magic.
Yeah. Not about science.
Like, I'll be your apprentice.
Yeah.
I'll be your 40-year-old apprentice.
Yeah, wear whatever weird outfit you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, like Merlin is pretty powerful.
You can do
He's
the kind of powerful where he doesn't really get involved because fuck it.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to become so powerful I don't have to get involved.
That you just don't care anymore.
Don't
Dr.
need
Manhattan
to.
style. No. You see how pointless everything is. So you just kind of
Everything
sit
is
back
so
and let it burn
pointless.
down. Yeah.
And Merlin understands this.
Yeah,
That's why he sends child molesting country stars back in time.
Super
No,
bizarre.
Merlin looks like Jerry Garcia.
Oh yeah. That
He
might be a
looks like
little
he's
Jerry
played
Garcia.
by Mark Hamill playing Jerry Garcia.
No, he looks
Wow.
like he's played by. Oh, fuck me. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
oh no. Oh
guy in
no.
Clue.
Shame.
Martin Mull.
Martin Mull.
I think he looks like old man Mark Hamill.
So he gasses up their tour van and he impresses them because he knows exactly how much gas is going to take to fill up the van. And apparently,
Out of all those actors, Mark Hamill would be the one most down to play the character, though.
yeah, he'll do anything. He doesn't care. He's got a lot of free time now. He's not doing Joker anymore. Whatever. I don't think he's doing Star Wars anymore either. He's got nothing going on.
I think he just likes playing crazy characters.
Yeah, he's probably a nice enough guy.
I think he's in the latest. What's the name of that fat comedian who just made a movie?
Kevin James?
Kevin James?
No, not Kevin James.
Well, then I don't know.
Never mind.
It doesn't matter. Gonna leave it in though. Gonna leave it in anyway though.
It's Bert Kreischer. He's in that Bert Kreischer movie.
Yeah. So Merlin tells Billy Ray, "Hey, you got a couple stowaways hiding in your luggage rack," and sure enough, they do.
He also knew the exact price that the gas was going to
Yep.
be.
Yes.
Yep. Well, that's because he did basic math.
And he goes, "I live my life backwards. It sucks."
So Billy Ray immediately decides to call these kids' phone parents and make sure that this is all okay because he's always above board about these things.
Yeah, how did he get their number?
How did he get a phone?
He asked. He goes, "What's your phone number?" Yeah, he does. So see, evidence to show that he does call the parents.
He wanted to make sure that this got in the comic book that he always calls the parents.
Maybe he's only calling the parents now because Merlin's there as a witness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of adults that aren't
He's
cool
covering
with
his
this.
ass.
I wonder
Yeah.
how defined Billy Ray Cyrus's abs were in real life at this time.
I don't know. Probably, yeah. This is probably definitely exaggerated, just like the mullet. His mullet wasn't that perfect.
No. All right.
He's got a beautiful mullet in this comic. I'm sorry.
He just has beautiful hair.
Okay, fine.
The mullet is a detriment to. It's good looking despite his choices.
He's really making it work. I think he really rocks it in this.
How is he in this good a shape if he's on a tour bus?
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I'm on the road, it's mostly burgers and nachos and churros and stuff.
Yeah, when you working out?
Yeah,
Not a lot.
There ain't no room. There's no room on the bus. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You're not having abs.
Yeah. So he calls the parents. The parents go, "Those little shits, we're gonna beat their asses when they get back." And Billy Ray
Macho
says,
Man
yeah.
Randy Savage is in the bus.
He is in the bus.
I'm here to make sure Billy Ray doesn't touch any kids. Yeah.
Macho Man's probably a good man. He was probably a good hero. He was
a good
on the
man
right
from
side
what
of
I
things.
understand.
Yeah, that's fine.
They haven't had a dark side of the ring about him.
that's when you know things are going to go south for you.
You know?
They
You
announced
think
that.
every pro wrestler is just white knuckling
shit.
their existence at this point from the creation of Dark Side of the Ring? They're like, oh my God, we're the worst people
no.
who's ever lived.
So Merlin tells Billy Ray those kids are going to rescue you, so hang on to them. Don't just toss them on the side of the road. So fine. So they start heading out to Nashville, but the sign on their own tour bus changes from Nashville to 1295 AD.
Billy Ray didn't need a whole lot of convincing to keep them kids nearby.
No.
No, he was looking for an excuse. So,
He's like, so guys, you want to change of clothes? I got some frontiersman outfits for you. I want you to see if they fit.
I bet they do. If Lotta Flack did her job, they're going to fit just fine.
Where is Lotta Flack? Why isn't she on the tour bus with
Well,
them?
she fucked up. There had to be a scapegoat. She's in prison now.
Yeah, she's in prison for trafficking kids.
Somebody had to take the fall.
Like the last group of kids? Yeah, she went down for that.
They don't even mention her. She's not an element in this at all.
They don't talk about it anymore.
No, we don't
It's
talk
one of the
about Lotta.
One of the rules of the road.
No.
Lotta Flack is
Very
dead.
little. Yeah, very little Lotta, if you ask me.
That's why they gave her a fake name.
Yeah, she's gone.
She got tried and convicted under her real one.
So they get out of the bus, and suddenly, sure enough, they're in 1295 AD at a medieval castle.
Yep.
And Billy's not particularly bothered by this.
He's like, well, this seems like a good place to LARP. Since we know from the previous story, he loves to LARP.
Yeah, this is close enough to Nashville. And so everyone's fighting. There's some sheep that are being shepherded away. There's a knight that starts trying to lance the tour bus. It's kind of fun.
Billy Ray Cyrus being super into LARPing is like Henry Cavill being really into Warhammer.
And he is. It's so
Dude.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
why? You can get laid, Henry Cavill. What are you doing?
He does.
How?
He said that was his primary form of cardio.
Sex?
Yes,
LARPing?
that was sex.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that dude is a big. He built his own. Not only did he build his own gaming computer, he then took a video of his gaming computer and posted it on social media.
I watched
this
him build it. I watched that video. I did.
Like, what are you doing?
He likes games.
He's probably had to turn down sex because he was in the middle of a Warhammer campaign. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Hopefully, he's not making things too complicated.
That's maybe why he does it. Like, periodically, he turns down women to keep his tolerance low.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Smart.
I'm just
and
gonna,
based
I'm-
Henry Cavill, keeping things normal.
I'm gonna do some gaming for a few hours to keep it down.
Because he could just lean into it like that guy who played The Flash made things way too goddamn complicated.
Nope. He's living the right life. He's living the best life.
That's what you do. How was that movie?
It's all right.
There are things I liked. There are things I didn't. The more I think about it, there are definitely some plot issues. But if I don't know, I don't think it deserves to be savaged the way it's getting savaged by people. But it does none of it matters because it's an historic bomb.
I don't know. The
It's
trailer
doing-
looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cool sequences.
I think you'll like it, Mike.
I like everything though.
That is okay. We have almost 250 episodes attesting that it's not true.
I've changed my ways, James.
All right.
I've learned
Today.
to just go with it. Like, don't be such a hater. Nobody likes a hater.
They do like a participator over a hater. That is true.
Yeah, I just gonna forgive everybody, especially Billy Ray.
Well, no,
mighty
maybe
nice of you.
the one guy you may not want to forgive after what he's
I mean, come on.
the horrible thing he's done to these fictional
He
children.
found Christ and tried to keep boobs off of TV. He clearly made things right.
So they get off this bus, and this knight stops Billy Ray and says, you have to yield. And so Billy Ray yields and goes, well, since you yielded, I'm not going to kill you, but you do have to be my prisoner. And he's cool with that.
And he's thinking about being tied up, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't bother Billy Ray that much. None of this does. Like
Who's
he's
he
a
played
little.
by in this story?
Oh God, I think that's a little bit
Henry
of a Kevin Sorbo.
Cavill.
No.
Henry Cavill.
More Kevin Sorbo than Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah, he's a religious nut.
Yeah,
There
he's
you
an
go.
idiot.
He wants to
Yeah.
keep boobs off of TV too, even though he was in Hercules.
He's a colossal
He
moron.
notoriously put boobs on TV.
He gets in social media fights with Lucy Lawless, and she makes him look like a fucking fool. It's
Well,
embarrassing.
he is a fucking
He is a
fool.
fucking fool, but you wouldn't expect your co-star, or whatever you want to call Lucy Lawless, they were kind of in the same universe, to be calling you out on Twitter and making you look like an idiot.
Well, he keeps saying dumb shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
Lucy
Don't
Lawless,
be an idiot on Twitter, and Lucy Lawless won't have to fucking
Lucy-
shame you.
Lucy Lawless is a treasure.
Yeah, she likes
love her.
knocking guys' dicks in the dirt.
Yeah, she's great. She's a queen.
Those shows were great.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, lots of fun.
Sam Raimi was involved? Yeah, he was involved, wasn't he?
Those are his shows.
Oh, good for him. Good for
I
him.
didn't know
Keep
he
him
was
busy.
involved with the shows.
That his production company made that whole slew of Saturday afternoon syndicated
Wow.
like action shows.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All of them.
Good for them.
Briscoe County Jr.,
Oh.
Cleopatra 2525. That was
One
a show
gl-
for boobs.
I remember
One
that.
glorious season of Briscoe County.
Dude.
So they're going to make all these guys prisoners. They put them in front of King Ed. He's the big king here.
And he's real tired.
Are these?
Yeah.
Yes, he's leaning over.
He
Is
is
this supposed to be?
falling the fuck over.
And like in real life, the dog becomes the center of the family.
Is this supposed to be like an English king? Like, I don't understand. They really don't make it clear. Was he transported to England?
Well,
that what
no
this
one
is?
should be able to understand each other.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right, fine.
Right? Because they're speaking ancient Britain or whatever.
Well, it would still be the Queen's. It would still be English.
No, it wouldn't. Absolutely not.
800 years ago?
Yeah, 800
700
years
years
ago,
ago?
English was like unrecognizable. You wouldn't be able to understand it, and they wouldn't be able to understand you.
I mean, Shakespeare's kind of halfway there, and I can kind of understand what the hell
That
he's
was
talking
not
about.
800 years ago.
It was. I said halfway there. Halfway.
No, that's a whole lot of time.
That is a whole lot of time.
And that
Anyway.
English is goofy too.
Well, I'm kind of speculating that none of this ever happened. None of this is
Shakespeare never happened.
This adventure that we're reading. I'm thinking that I don't know what's going on.
Are you saying
So-
this isn't real life
The
canon
real
of Billy Ray
adventures
Cyrus?
of Billy
Next
Ray
thing you know,
Cyrus?
you're gonna tell me he's not really a Cherokee Indian.
Well, no, he's got the scalps. He's got the scalps to prove it.
Did they do that, or are they nice?
no,
I
I'm
think they were
saying-
one of the nice ones.
I'm saying Billy Ray has Cherokee scalps.
Oh, he's taking them.
He's taken them, and he thinks it gives him their power.
That's terrible. Well, the
That's
lore
dark.
behind Billy Ray has gotten dark.
Yeah,
Well,
that got real dark.
Right? He's a serial killer now.
His tolerance is too high.
Oh my God! It went over into racially charged murders.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's everything he does. He
You
does
took
it
it
at
too
11.
far, James.
Every native that like accused him of not really having Cherokee blood, he like goes to their house
Yep,
and
he goes
kills
after them. He goes after them, or
He silences them.
He has Steven Seagal do it. His
That's right. They're in
lookalike.
cahoots.
Yes.
They're having dinner with Putin.
So Billy Ray says to the king, "Hey, here's the thing. We're supposed to be, playing a rock show." And the king goes, "No. You're a hostage unless you can slay the dragon that's been bothering my kingdom, I guess."
Yeah. Right.
Now,
okay.
now, I want to be clear about this. It turns out at the end of the book, spoiler here, there was never a dragon. So
No,
I don't
it's
know
just-
what they're worried about.
Well, it's also like his men easily captured him. So like, why does he think he's going to be able to slay a dragon?
Yeah,
if
why
his
would you
men
be anything?
couldn't?
I don't know. It's weird.
Or maybe he's like, there's only so many like guys, so he's like, he doesn't want to throw his guys at a dragon fight. So
Yeah,
he's
this
gonna use
foreign
these
guy.
strangers.
Yeah, this weird stranger. So they throw everybody in captivity, and they're slapping around Billy Ray. And then the Black Knight, who's the guy we saw on the cover, this
Much goofier than we thought he was going to look.
very
Yeah, he looks
goofy-
way better on the cover.
Right.
He's the handsomest man in England.
And he says, "Well, here's the thing, Billy Ray. I want to challenge you for the honor of slaying the dragon." Billy Ray says, "Well, I don't want to slay the dragon." And he goes, "No. We have to have a joust, and whoever wins the joust gets to slay the dragon."
You know, I bet no one was this shredded back then.
That's probably how they could identify him as being a foreigner.
You
They've never
know?
seen abs like this before.
Because they didn't know about progressive overload.
No, they would think Billy Ray is just like a space alien.
Yeah, he would be like, Jesus Christ, you're shredded.
And also, he's from 1995, so he's probably a little taller. So he's taller. He's got the mullet. He's got the abs. Like, this does not look like a creature from Earth.
You know, they probably all got shitty mullets too.
I don't know, man. They're looking pretty good. Black Knight's basically got no hair at all.
No, he looks
Yeah,
like me.
he has a reverse mullet going on, just long on
So-
top.
And
So-
he's got a killer mustache that takes
Yeah,
a
he
lot of
does.
time and effort.
It does. A lot of waxing. So they put Billy Ray in a suit of armor, and they put him on a horse, and they say, "You guys got to joust. Whoever wins the joust can go slay the dragon."
Like, grooming his mustache is his Warhammer.
Yes, he takes videos of it and puts it on Instagram. So Billy Ray realizes, "Oh no, I can't get around on this horse too much. I'm too heavy." So he starts taking his armor off to lighten the load. And sure enough, he wins the joust.
So the horse is the same horse from the last issue.
Well, how many different ways are you going to draw a horse?
Well, it's the same coloring, too. That's Rome, his horse.
No, he actually specifically mentions it's not Rome. He specifically
Just
says,
like 'em.
not
Yep.
like my horse Rome. Now, why did Billy Ray go through the effort of winning the joust when he didn't want to be the one to slay the dragon in the first place?
Because
Alpha.
because if he gets hit with a lance, he's going to die.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. They would have killed him. You know what?
You
would
know,
keep him
like
from-
that, like people died in these things.
well, you know what would have kept him from being killed is if he would have left his armor on.
Not really.
Then they could dive. Just fall off the horse. Like what?
You could die from that. His only option was to win the joust. Luckily, his
like
core
that.
was so strong,
Yeah.
he was able to withstand the impact of,
you-
of the lance exploding.
You want this plot to be so bulletproof. You want this to be
It's
like-
not my fault. I'm easily finding explanations.
you want this all to just be like an Alan Moore script. Like it just
Hey, what,
so
what have I been
thick.
wrong about?
it's a perfect yeah, because it's just they're clearly just trying to move him from one adventure to another with no sense
I'm
in
just
how they
saying, like,
go.
taking a dive wasn't an option.
Yeah.
And who knows what would have happened to his compatriots?
I hope the kids' parents didn't read that article those tabloid guys wrote from the last story.
They clearly didn't.
I'm Billy Ray. I've got your kids.
Just
Don't
imagine
worry.
mom and dad driving 100 miles an hour to that gas station to go get their
shit.
kids before he drives away.
Don't fuck with me, Merlin. Where are the kids?
Yeah.
I read that report. I know what he's
Set
doing.
them back in time. He'll have all the time in the world to do what he wants now. You don't remember me, do you? It's some complicated revenge against that mom and dad.
Well, but they don't know about it because he's living backwards, so it hasn't happened yet. But he
You
knows in the
evicted
future.
me while I was gone, and my cat ran away.
Yeah. It hasn't. It happens in 20 years.
Now your children will be ass fucked by Billy Ray Cyrus in the past.
Good Lord.
Confusing.
When did we get to child rape?
Now Merlin is definitely a guy who has made his entire life way too complicated.
Dude, he's been around for so long. You don't fuck with Merlin.
I would love to read just the Adventures of Merlin. That I don't understand why that is not something that's been followed up on more in other
Right?
media.
Was
That
Merlin
seems
doing shit?
far more interesting than all this other shit.
I don't know.
I think
Hippie
probably
Merlin,
people,
who owns a gas station. Like,
Well,
where's his Marvel comic?
the idea that he lives backwards is
He
fascinating.
would have a
to me.
crossover with US1.
He could hang out with US1, or if he was in the DC universe, he could hang out with Vandal Savage. They'd have things to talk about.
Well, I mean, because a truck is more likely to stop there for gas.
Oh, yeah, US1. If you go back and look at episode, I think it's 199, US1, the guy who has a radio receiver in his brain, and he uses it to drive a truck.
He does.
Sure.
Get gas at Merlin's gas stop.
Because he's got nothing else to do, so he started a gas station.
Yep, he's got them trucker showers.
So, yeah, at the Loves, the best place to stop when
He's
you're on
got
the road.
various chapels
Ooh.
to meet the needs of the religious.
Yeah, sure. You can get a shower. You can get some souvenirs. You can play some arcade games. Get a hamburger.
Since Merlin's like living his life backwards,
Pray.
and he's in Camelot, he's just fantasizing about when he can retire from the court of Camelot and open up his gas station in the future.
Yeah, how young does he have to be?
Or that would be a memory for him.
Well, it hasn't. Yeah, it would be a. See, this is why it's
Because
fascinating.
he's
This
living his life backwards.
this
So
is-
like,
yeah.
he's thinking about how much life was better
This
when he
is
was running
why-
the gas station.
This is why I think people aren't writing the Adventures of Merlin. It's way too complicated to think about.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Brain melting.
I mean, I got it. I get it.
Yeah, but it'd be really hard to like write a story from the perspective of a guy who's experiencing time backwards.
AI can do it.
AI can do anything.
Send us
Speaking
your-
of experiencing time,
All right, Shea. All right. So
Thank you,
anyway,
Shea. Thank
so
you.
they tell Billy Ray, all right, you can go fight the dragon. He goes, all right, where's the dragon? He says, well, we're not going to tell you. That's the other
But
fun
first,
part.
we want you to fuck Harmonica, wherever the fuck her name was.
Hunka Munka?
So yeah, this woman shows up and says, "Hey, I'm Princess Hunka Munka. I'm also a hostage." Despite the fact that nothing seems to suggest that she's a hostage here. I don't understand.
Where's she
what
gonna
that's
go?
about.
How's she gonna get away? Go out
I
to the
don't know.
wilderness and die?
She says, "All right, I need to marry a brave knight like you, and then I won't be a hostage anymore." And Billy Ray says, "No, I'm already married. I only fuck children now." And she says, "Oh," she's kind of into it too. And he's like, "Well, I do have an opening for a new public relations director."
So back in the day, back in the medieval times, serfdoms and castledoms and all that would, during wars, would kidnap family members of their enemies and hold them as hostages. It basically raised them as part of their family.
Nice.
But the trick was it would prevent them from being raided or made war against. And this was
Okay.
a common practice.
This is sort of like a fourth world thing, like
Sure.
Dark Side and High
The
Father
good
exchanging
example.
children. Yeah,
That was what they would do, basically.
That might be
exchange
where,
hostages.
that's probably where Kirby got the idea.
Yes.
Interesting. So she says, "Well, if you won't marry me, I'll tell you where the dragon is if you will play me a song. I hear you're a great singer.
And he's just like, I am. You heard right.
So
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
And that's the origin of that song.
She's like, I've never heard the word breaky before.
He just changed the course of history. Now the word breaky was introduced into the lexicon in 1295.
Right.
700 years early.
Yep.
Fucked up the timeline.
One of his bass roadies throws a rock at his head and goes, hey, quit singing songs and go fight that dragon, stupid.
He does say, he throws a rock, and then they go, who threw a rock? And the guy goes, no, not rocks, dinner, as in rolls, as in rock and roll. Which
What
is
if
a
he,
very...
threw a rock at Billy Ray while he's playing and kills him?
It's like, oh shit, now what are we going to do?
And he's like trapped in the past now.
I
And
see that
Merlin's
was-
in the future realizing what happened. He goes, shit.
I see how that was a mistake. I've altered the course of history, and now, in 1995, the age of consent is 15 years old.
And then Merlin just sits back in his lazy boy and just goes, I don't really care.
Yep, no, why would he? Why would he? So apparently this works, and the princess is like, all right, yeah, fair enough. Get the bus keys. Let's go in the bus. I'll show you where this dragon is. Right?
Yeah.
Why? So the king wants the dragon slayed, but why the king won't tell Billy Ray where the dragon is?
I don't know.
Well, because ultimately we find out there is no fucking dragon, which means this dragon has not been attacking them.
Yeah,
so there's nothing going on.
What's the threat?
There's a weird panel where Billy Ray's driving around medieval England in his tour bus, and at one point he Dukes of Hazzards it over a moat
onto a drawbridge. Yes. Yes.
But they don't show any lead up to it.
And why is he appears to be driving back into the castle that they were hanging out at.
Right? Or maybe they're leaving the castle walls. None of this makes any sense.
Again, this is why the artwork doesn't work if you string them together.
This is the backwards frontwards hat.
Yes. Yes, this is the narrative equivalent of the backwards frontwards cap. And yeah, apparently the king's enemies are attacking, and so I guess to get away from them, he dives the van back into the castle they just came from?
Yeah, they'd be out of gas too by now. It's
that thing gets 2 miles to the gallon for sure.
And here he is cheating on his wife some more, preparing to grab that lady's boobs.
Princess Hunkamunka says the invaders are they're gonna lay siege to this place. They'll be done in a couple weeks. And he's like, I got to get to Nashville for a gig. Again, kind of unfazed about the whole thing.
No, she says they'll tire out. He says
Okay.
she says you've saved us. Eventually, in a couple weeks, they'll get bored of attacking.
Yeah, that's pretty much how sieges worked.
Yeah. So yeah, it just goes on until you can't throw any more suffering at it.
Yeah, and she's about to hug Billy Ray, but then realizes the first time he has the longest mullet in the world, and she dries up.
All right. And so he says, all right, Billy Ray says, all right, if you let my guys out, I got an idea. I know how I can drive these guys out. And he says, I've got this laser that I've been setting up, a laser show for the next gig. And here's how we learn Billy Ray doesn't know what a laser is.
No, not at all.
This is where you missed the part where he's just this is how he negotiates with the stupid king. Right? Where he's just like, hey, I know how to deflect these enemies, but you have to let my guys out. He goes, no, I'm not doing that. He goes, okay, well, at least let out those 2 kids. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. Now I'm going to need my guys to help me with this. He goes, all right, I'll let them go too.
These people were much dumber back then.
He's like, can't believe that worked.
Yeah. So he sets up this laser that he was supposed to bring to the next show in Nashville. And it's a good thing it didn't go to Nashville because his laser is actually a flamethrower and it murders a bunch of people.
Well, it looks like it's a high-powered laser. He just pointed at some wood for about an hour.
So this went on for quite a while.
Until it lit on fire, which that would make sense.
You guys better not move that wood. You better
they don't
not.
Know what a they can't see the
don't
laser.
Move it. You don't
you
move
can't
that.
See it.
You can see a laser.
Of course, back in the 90s, the laser itself would be gigantic.
Yeah, this is just it's a flamethrower because he shoots.
It's like a phaser beam.
Everything catches fire. This is not a laser.
He was gonna do this in his show to his audience.
He was gonna murder audience members.
What if he just grabbed a moving light?
just blind everybody.
I know what to do, and it just spins around.
And how is he powering this laser? Where's the electricity coming from? They invented electricity. So this drives off
powers
everybody.
it through his lust of teenage frontiersmen.
So this drives off the attackers, and so Billy Ray finally can confront the dragon. So he goes into a cave where apparently the dragon is. And it turns out, what is it, hot springs or something in there?
Yeah, it's just a hot spring.
It's just a hot spring.
So why did they think it was a dragon?
I don't know. They clearly never saw a dragon. And even if it was a dragon, it didn't do any damage because there never was a dragon. So it couldn't have done anything to them.
Yeah, no one's ever went there.
Well, what's the problem? Yeah, nobody went in or else they would have seen there's no dragon here.
Yeah, what if it was just one liar?
They just saw smoke.
It's like, hey, go up there and investigate all that steam. He's just like, all right, I'll do it. He goes, man, I really don't want to do this today.
Hey, bad news, guys. It was a fucking dragon.
Sorry, there's a dragon up there. What, really? He goes, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, there's a dragon
You better
up there.
not go up there.
Can't believe that worked.
He's just white-knuckling this whole Billy Ray Cyrus adventure. He's like, they're going to know I lied.
I'm in pretty deep here. So Billy Ray grabs a fire extinguisher from the truck. He puts out the hot spring.
Which can't.
It doesn't do anything.
No.
It works.
Don't see why that. Yeah, he put out the core of the earth.
Yep.
With a
single fire extinguisher. It's a very powerful fire extinguisher. So everything works out well. The kids take some pictures to show the king that, hey, listen, the smoke is gone, which means your dragon is dead. Right?
And
Fair
he's
enough.
Like, what the hell's a picture? Yes. Merlin, what the hell is this? And Merlin's like, oh, right, I sent this guy to the future.
But that's not Merlin,
past.
I don't think. That's just some dude.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Merlin.
Well, he says no. I don't think it's Merlin because the king asks him what happened. What are these pictures? And the dude goes, "Oh, it's just as I warned. It's sorcery."
Yeah, but wouldn't he remember pictures?
Well, that's why he's not Merlin.
Because when he was younger,
right? That's why this is just some other guy.
In 1995.
See, I told you this was complicated with Merlin. It's not an easy thing to write.
But then again, I forget things too.
Yeah, maybe you're
he
Merlin.
just doesn't remember 1995.
Well, they say if you remember the 1990s, you weren't really there.
You know what I'm saying?
Say.
He don't remember. He's just like, what the fuck is that, a picture? He just says it in his American accent, just comes and goes.
So Billy says to the king, all right, we can go free now. And the king's like, well, no, actually, I'd like you to be my court magician. So that's what we're going to do.
He's like, okay.
Whatever.
Because all I can do is just play Achy Breaky Heart for you.
That's my one song.
He goes, that's fine.
So then the king decides, I'm gonna just hold you hostage pretty much as my magicians now. And then in a fucking Deus Ex Machina I've ever seen, somehow or another, the chick has essentially an Apple Watch.
Which could have helped us a long time ago.
Yeah.
Could have given us some information. So
she's got a this is a Captain Zick Super Micro CD-ROM, which means it requires a CD, Astro chronometer, and data badge. Database?
Database. It's a smartwatch that apparently has a micro CD-ROM in there, which it fucking doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
So the point here is that Billy Ray is thinking, well, Merlin told me that the kids are going to help me on this whole trip, and the boy helped me by taking those pictures, so your turn. And so the girl says, well, I've got this smartwatch here.
With the panel with Billy Ray thinking he's played by pro wrestler the British Bulldog.
Sure. Fine, that thing.
Go look up the British Bulldog.
No, I don't think we need
look
to
him up. And you'll be like, God damn, he looks just like Billy Cyrus, haircut and all.
I believe you. I absolutely believe you. So she says,
be on the Twitter.
It will be on the Twitter. It'll be on the
YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be on the YouTube for sure. And so she says, this coincidence of coincidences, on this day in 1295, there's going to be a meteor shower in a couple hours. And so Billy Ray kisses her.
He comes overwhelmed with lust for this teenager.
I really, as I was reading this, I was like, you could cut out about 20 of the panels from this book and rearrange them and tell a very different story.
Especially since the kids look the same.
Yeah. So he kisses this child. The child swoons. She falls asleep because she's been roofied. Mm-hmm. And then Billy Ray tells the king, if you don't let us go, the stars are going to rain down in a little bit. And he says, that's bullshit. That sounds like some science shit. And sure enough, the
age of science is over.
That was the age of science. Yep, that was the age of science was done. And so sure enough, there's a meteor shower. And so the king goes, all right, you can leave. I guess you guys have magic powers. You can leave.
He's like, all right, I guess I'll just go back to holding people hostage, which I'm known for doing.
Whatever. I'm a king. I can do what I want. Just like Billy Ray Cyrus is a king in his own way.
Yeah,
so they come through the fog and they go back to the gas station and they're the parents' kids.
Yeah, they are frantic.
And the mom is a redhead, by the way, despite the fact that neither of the kids have red hair.
Well, they got lucky.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So they're like, yeah, you guys, you didn't get, fucked in the ass by Billy Ray Cyrus, did
They're
you?
like, no, we got to sit back in time. He didn't have time to do it.
We were really busy.
And he goes, yep, sorry, I got real busy. They're going to go back home without any scars or mental or otherwise.
So
Because that's okay, Mr. Cyrus.
at the end of the book, this kind of fascinated me. So they're like, sorry, Billy, all we really wanted was an autograph. And he goes, well, he breaks the fourth wall. He says, well, if you turn the page of the very comic book that you are reading, if you turn the page, you've got your autograph.
Thank God.
And the book ends with a realistic drawing of Billy Ray. And
Worst
it says,
haircut, the worst.
the best haircut. And it
Worst,
says,
dude, he's brushing that shit.
it says, dear fan, dreams come true, Billy Ray Cyrus.
He never bothered to learn their names.
That's
through this
exactly
entire
what
adventure.
my thought was that it's like we just went on an adventure with you and you can't even sign it addressed to me.
It
Like
also,
me knowing about that meteor shower saved us.
yeah.
I saw your dick.
We we did most of the work on this thing. Well, I think the idea was this was your reward for buying the comic book, is that at the end, Billy Ray Cyrus signed it, but he didn't actually sign it. It's just a
not really.
print, and it doesn't have a specific name because it's just generic. So it says, dear
Well,
fan.
yes, I know the actual
Well,
reasoning.
well, no,
James.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's a bizarre thing because it also says dreams come true, which really doesn't speak to the book. Like,
Nope.
what does that have to do with anything?
You know, Billy Ray didn't have sex with these teenagers because they didn't have time to put on the frontiersman outfit.
Yeah. it was too busy. It was
I
all
enjoy
happening
the
very
fact
quickly.
he has 3 different kinds of handwriting.
Yeah,
Dear
there's 3
fan
different
is written
fonts
one
used.
way,
Yeah.
Dreams Come True is one way, and then his signature.
Wow. Well, so there we go. That's the end of that book.
He's
That's
too
how that
busy.
happened.
He's too busy cutting out all the breasts of the Sears catalog with Kevin Sorbo.
So that's the end of the book. That was great. What do we think of this?
It definitely lived up to what, like, we would hope it would be.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Shée?
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, this was pretty great. 4 out of 5 line dancing Shées.
What is this obsession with me I didn't go line dancing.
I think you were line dancing. I think you were line dancing.
I think you were line dancing earlier today in
Yeah.
preparation for the comic.
I heard it.
Weaving a spell of line dancing.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a line dance now if you paid me.
Well, now,
I could do.
yeah.
I could do a line. Ha ha.
Hey, drugs. Okay, I think we can move on from this.
Yep.
I think we should look at what we're doing next time.
Yeah.
I did replenish the wheel and made sure that a lot of the new things are on there and cleaned up. So now we have 38 fantastic items on the
38.
wheel.
There's more in the requests as well. There's a bunch of stuff now.
Okay, well, this is what we got.
Maybe we should just throw all the requests onto
on
the
the normal wheel. Yeah, but they're gonna get. Well, we could.
Yeah, we could. Why not? That way
It's
it
gonna get
randomly
buried.
happens more often.
All right. Well, we could do that next time.
Because
But
here
send
we
in
have
more
to
requests.
choose to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next time, though, we can't fix that quickly.
Merlin wants more power. He wants it consolidated into a
We have to
single
get
wheel.
phase 1 phasers.
Anything we can do to make phase 1 phaser show
What do you
up.
guys want?
I still want weird sports, and I don't know why.
I want weird sports too. Shea, you want DP7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still like to see DP.
Star Trek 3, I'd be down with it. That looks super weird.
Phase 1, Phasers 2 would be.
There's a lot of good stuff.
There is a lot.
It's going to be great no matter what it is. So let's listen to some spinning music while we do it. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Foghat driving wheel.
I thought you were going to find a Billy Ray Cyrus song about spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There probably is one. Yeah, maybe next time.
Oh,
Billy Ray doesn't
wheels?
have to be limited to one episode.
I
Billy Ray
suppose.
can
You
spin,
know what? I agree.
spill over. Yeah, he
agree.
can spill over to as many episodes as he wants.
Yeah, it could spill over.
All right. So, yeah, let's spin the wheel, see what's coming up next time.
What are we going to get? What can it be?
This is why you stick
What
around
are
for
we
2
gonna
hours.
get?
And it's going to be... Okay, New Warriors.
Right.
But I think we do have... The wheel doesn't say what issue it is, but I think I probably have the wheel. I think I probably have it. If I just take a little look-see on our log here. What the hell is it again? New Warriors. New Warriors. We didn't have an issue picked. Oh, I haven't picked yet. Oops.
All right.
do-
I guess let's just think of a number.
How many? Well, we don't know how many issues there are. I'm gonna say 17.
Shea?
6.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna say 27.
Are we? What are we doing with those numbers?
I don't know. Numbers for what?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a new wheel real quick,
Okay.
and we're gonna put those 3 on there.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's gonna. Let's see here.
Because we can't look.
We can't know what's gonna come up.
No, we can't.
Okay. What were their issues? I said 17.
17. Shea said.
Right.
6.
6. All right.
And I said 27. None of these may be accurate numbers to the actual count.
None of these may exist, but we're gonna spin for that.
Let's find out.
Let's have a little bit of fog hat for that too. Here we go. All right. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. And it's issue 6.
Issue 6.
So let's see what happened in New Warriors issue 6. New Warriors Volume 1, issue 6 from 1990. It's a book called The Inhuman Condition. Looks like we're looking at the Inhumans.
All right, the Inhumans and the
Why
New
was this
Warriors.
put on?
I don't know. Did you just want to look at the New Warriors? It's
This
technically
was,
the New
why are you
Warriors.
blaming me?
It
I
sounded
don't
like it was
know.
something you put on, James.
I didn't put the Warriors on there, the New Warriors. Did Merlin just sneak this onto the...
Maybe, it's starting to seem like maybe there's something to your theory there.
Wow. Okay. I mean, we're doing it.
Yeah,
We
let's
can all
do
agree
it.
that we're doing it no matter what. Yeah, so it's at the New Warriors with Night Thrasher, Speedball, Kid Nova, Namorita, Firestar, and Marvel Boy.
Yeah, I'm not going against the wheel anymore.
No,
I'm
you
fine
can't.
with we're going the extra mile
Yep,
to
and we're
go
gonna
with
see,
because clearly the wheel picked this.
it knows
for
what's
some
going
reason.
on. We're gonna see, according to the Marvel Wiki, we're gonna see the House of Agon, all the Inhumans, including Black Bolt, Medusa, and them. We're gonna see the Watcher. We're gonna see a dude named Andrew Cord.
Andrew Tate.
I was thinking that too. Written by Fabian Nikenza. Penciled by Mark Bagley. So these are big names. This is probably great.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we got some floating heads on the cover. That's always a good sign. Lots of
Yeah,
characters. All right. This will be great, I'm sure.
It says, "What are you waiting for? Buy it." Look at that, dude. Look at the encouragement we're getting.
They really want... Merlin definitely snuck a message into the cover of that book here.
Bro, maybe Merlin
All
wrote
right.
this.
Merlin knows what's up. All right, that's what we're doing.
All right.
All right, we agree. Shea, give us some closing plugs to get us out of here.
All right. Well, listen to us while getting only the hair on top of your hair cut on Stitcher, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast,
Sure.
your best friend, if they also are a podcast streaming app, or subscribe to us on any of those platforms. And you can also listen on darksidescouch.com.
Yeah.
You can also follow us and send all of your art to Darkside's Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Yeah, I want that art, but I also want... what the hell did we ask for? It was
Oh,
it was
An
a comic
AI
book.
script of something.
A script of something. What did we say we wanted?
Oh, the David Lee Roth comic book.
David Lee Roth comic.
Which
Give
I
us some
looked up. There
adventures
is
of
no
that.
David Lee Roth. Well, there is because he made a graphic novel, but there
Nice.
is a
Well,
Van
that
Halen
counts.
comic book. But,
Yeah,
there,
but-
it's not about him.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look into it. But in the meantime, yeah, make us spinning songs, right? That's fine. You can make all these kind of things. We'll use them all.
And yep.
And that's it. Anybody got any final thoughts to get us out of here?
We were just kidding about Billy Ray Cyrus and them kids.
He's a great
It
man.
just seemed sketchy.
It is weird that there are kids in both books, and he makes a point of making sure he's cleared things with the parents.
Yeah, he took him on a camping trip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's weird.
His fucking handler found them for him.
Yeah.
Shay, you got any closing thoughts?
Happy belated birthday, Mike.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
my birthday.
it was
but
Mike's birthday.
or it's not my birthday yet, because I am like Merlin.
You're experiencing a Merlin moment here. Your birthday's in the future, but by the time people are hearing it, it's in the past.
It's in the past.
Confusing. All right. Ta-ta for now, Christian Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand.
Breaky?
Never heard that word before I moved to
Nashville.
I don't know why. It's a perfectly cromulent word.